years of experience in IT industry, and currently I'm working for TCS as a DevOps senior DevOps engineer. All right. So let me start with an example. What exactly uh, the companies are looking for. Before we look into DevOps, let me give you one example about the company's requirement. All right. So see, uh, on in the screen you can see, like, these two companies are there, right? I hope everyone has installed these apps on your mobiles. Am I right? What about the left hand side apps? Have you ever used those apps? Have you ever listened to those companies? Most of them would not, right? So why? Okay, what is the difference? Even though these are also cab companies only, why only the right hand side companies are famous and why not the left hand side? So let's try to understand. See, these were started in 2005. In 2005 and 2006, these companies were started. These were started in 2010 and 11, right? But even though there was a gap of 5 years, these companies couldn't become number one in the market, right? These companies couldn't become number one in the market. But now today, these are pioneers in the cab industry. What is the difference between them? So see, when Ola and Uber started their operations in India, they started with Android application, right? They launched their mobile application in both in Android and iOS. But whereas these companies, they couldn't start, I mean, they didn't start the mobile application. They didn't understand the market. They didn't understand the user's requirement, right? So when they start this Ola and Uber, when they started their Android application, and people started using them, and it was a huge success. The user interface was easy to understand, and the cab used to directly come to the location based upon the GPS location which we have shared, right? Everything was so easy and it was convenient for the users, right? That's why these became number one in the market, right? So that is why every company who are trying to launch any application into the market, they'll try to understand the customer's requirement, and they'll create the product, and they'll try to launch the product as soon as possible. Because when they launch the product into the market as soon as possible, they'll try to capture the market, maximum market. I'll give you one more example. You remember Paytm? Paytm was launched, like it was the first company, right, in India who have introduced the digital payments in India, right? After that, many companies came like Google Pay and Phone Pay, Amazon Pay. But when Paytm launched, that was the first company, right? That is why Paytm was number one in the market for a long time. So that is why, in this way, every company will try to achieve the number one position in the market by reaching these goals. Okay, they have some certain goals, organization goals, and they'll try to achieve that number one position with the help of these goals. So let's try to understand what are these goals. So the first one is faster delivery of the product. Okay, faster delivery of the product. So what do you mean by this means that whenever or whatever the product or whatever the application the organization is trying to launch into the market, they'll try to deliver the product into the market as soon as possible. Why? Because in that way they can be the number one, they can be the first company who have launched that product, and they'll try to capture maximum market share by gaining maximum number of customers. Whoever comes first will try to capture maximum market, right? So that is why. So every organization will try to launch a product as soon as possible. They want to launch and they want to become first company to who has launched that product. The second one is higher quality. Whenever uh, whenever the company is trying to deliver any product into the market, they'll not compromise with the quality. Okay, because the more the quality of the product or more the quality of the application is, more customers will buy it, right? Because quality is also very much important. The third one is less expenditure. See, if a organization is trying to uh, you know uh, spend less amount, and if they are trying to give a good quality of product, obviously they'll get good returns. right? So if the expenditure to complete the project is very less, obviously the organization will expect more returns and more profits, and that is why they will find different ways to cut down the cost to develop the project. Okay, so that is also very important. And finally, minimizing the outages. Minimizing the outages means see, whenever the application goes down, okay, whenever the application goes down, for example, see, few months ago, Google was down, right? Gmail didn't work. Uh, Gmaps didn't work. Google Drive didn't work, right? So what happened? A lot of companies, a lot of people who were depending upon them couldn't complete their operations for that day. For example, people who were using Gmail as business email ID, they couldn't send emails, and that affected their business. Cab drivers who were using Gmap, right, Google Maps for navigation and all, the Google Maps was down, so obviously they couldn't drive that day, right? So that is why. So every company, when it happened to Google, it can happen to any company, right? So that is why every organization will try to minimize the outages. They will try to see that the application should not go down as, I mean, for a long time. Okay. So they'll try to see that the application should be running 24 by 7, 365 days. Okay. This is also very important organization goal. So these are some of the important goals, guys. And now what we'll see is we'll see something called software development lifecycle, how a software is developed and how it is handed out to the client and what happens next. So let me give you one quick diagram, and after that we'll discuss more about SDLC. See, this is a development team in a company. Okay, so what they will do, they'll start developing the product. Developing the product means they'll start writing the pro code, okay, programming code. This is a development team. They'll start writing the code, programming code, and what they will do, they will hand it over to the client. Okay, they will hand it over to the client. This stage is called as production stage. Okay, so this stage is called as production stage. So whenever we hand over the product to the client, that stage is called as production stage. Okay, and this process, handing over the product to the client, is called as delivery. Right? After that, the client, what it will do, the client, they will start using that product, and once they start using the product, obviously they'll come to know about that application. They'll face some issues, they'll face some bugs and all, right, bugs, issues, and they want some new changes into that product, right? So what the client will do, they'll give feedback. Okay, the client will provide us a feedback. What does this feedback consist of? The feedback will consist of bugs, uh, issues, right, and enhancements. Enhancements means like if they want to change any colors, any themes, any user interface, any new changes to the UI, or whatever the changes they want to add, that is what called as enhancements. Okay, so when the client will provide us the feedback, the development team will start again working on the product. Okay, they'll start to implement those changes into the application. Okay, so they'll change that application. They will again release a new version of that application, new version of that software. Okay, this is a new version. Okay, version 1.0. So what the client will do, they'll start using that new version. Again, they'll start getting some issues, or again they will face some challenges and all, right. And what they will do, they will again give the feedback. Okay, so development team will again, they will consider that feedback, and again they will start doing those changes, and after that they will release a new version of the application once again. So this is a continuous process, guys. This is what the software development lifecycle means. Okay. In short, we call it as SDLC. Okay? Software Development Life Cycle. SDLC. So whatever the diagram you're seeing now, this is a very simplistic approach of SDLC. Very simply, I have tried to explain you. But in real time, we have lot of stages between the development and production. Okay, lot of stages are there. Different stages are there, like testing, quality analysis, repository, build process, release, deployment, management, monitoring. A lot of stages are there. We'll try to understand those stages now. Okay. Okay. So these are the different stages of a software development lifecycle. Okay. Now, see, every company will follow this SDLC. When they are developing any application, they'll follow this software development lifecycle. And this doesn't mean that every organization will have these stages only. They might have removed or they might have changed some things. Okay. They might have removed some stages from their SDLC process. What are those processes? Let's try to see this. So the first one is idea. Okay, so first the idea will be gathered, what they want to develop. Okay, that all these things idea will be gathered. After that, the requirements. Okay, requirements means in which environment they have to develop, what kind of servers have to be used, what kind of cloud platform has to be used, what kind of technology has to be used for developing the application, right? All these things requirements will be gathered. Then a proper planning will be taken place. Okay, design, how many people are going to work, all those things will be designed. Then the development will start, the programmers will start writing the code, and after that the testing will take place, then the deployment will take place, and finally the product will be handed over to the client, and the application will be monitored and maintained. All right, so these are some of the important stages of a software development lifecycle, and this is a continuous process, guys. This goes on continuously. Okay, now the SDLC has mainly uh, two approaches. Okay, two methods are there, two approaches are there. One is waterfall approach and the other one is agile approach. So in waterfall approach or in this methodology, what is happening? So this particular waterfall model was adapted in early 2000, in starting of 2000 it was started getting adopted by the companies. Now also, like, very few companies are using it, but a lot of companies have switched from waterfall to agile. All right. So what is happening here in waterfall model? What are the stages are there, right? The SDLC stages like development, uh, designing, build, testing, quality assurance, deployment. All these stages are broken down in a linear sequential phase. What do you mean by this linear sequential phase? This means that each and every stage is depending upon the deliverables of previous stage, which means that if development is completed, only then the testing will take place. If the testing is completed, only then the quality assurance will take place. If the quality assurance is completed, only then the output will be taken, then the deployment will take place. All right. Otherwise, the rest of the teams are sitting idle, and that is cost a lot of billing for the companies. We can't achieve the first organization goal, which is faster delivery of the product. We can't achieve that goal using this waterfall model. All right. So that is the important, that is one of the important drawbacks of waterfall. So in order to overcome this, companies started switching to agile methodology. Okay, companies started using, they have switched to agile methodology. And what here, here what is happening is all the stages are parallelly running. Okay, development didn't take place, and along with development, testing is also getting taking place. Okay, so testing is also going on, development is also going on, build process is going on, immediate releases are happening, and development is continuously happening, and the client is getting immediate updates. Okay, so we are achieving faster delivery of the product. You can see here in this diagram, you can see all the stages are parallelly running. There is no dependency. Okay, if this process is stopped, it doesn't mean that the next process is going to be affected. Okay, so that is the advantage of using agile, and today almost 90% of projects in the world are using agile methodology. All right. Now we'll see something called development and operations. We'll try to understand why do we need DevOps. So see, in every project where the application is getting developed, we have two teams, mainly two teams are there. One is development team and operational team. Who are development team? Development team is nothing but people who develops the code, mainly the programmers, okay, and the build team, testing team, quality assurance team. These people comes under the development team. But then what about the operational team? Operational team consists of deployment team, monitoring team, maintenance team. All these people comes under operations. Okay. So usually what happens is whenever the development team, this team, okay, whenever the development team makes the changes the code, okay, for example, the client has requested for a new change, okay, he wants to see some changes into the user interface of the application. What they will do, the development team will start doing the changes in the code. They will modify the code, they'll update the new changes, and they will introduce those changes into the project. Now what is happening here is the on the other side, the operational team has to face some challenges. Okay, whenever there is a new change into the application, new updates into the application, the operational team has to carry out some tasks. Certain tasks are there which has to be carried out by operational team. What are those tasks? Let's try to see. The first thing is they have to log tickets. Okay, for each and every change they have to log tickets, create documentation, why the changes are happening, check in different environments. We'll check in different environments, guys, like Linux servers, Windows servers, whether the application will be working properly or not. They have to check in different environments. They have to coordinate with client. Okay, they have to coordinate with the client. They have to check with them. They have to, take proper feedback from them, whether the new changes are working properly or not. All these things has to be done. All right, and also if there are any change management requests, if there are any change management requests, then those requests has also be taken by the operational team. So these are some of the important tasks which the operational team has to carry out every time when there is a new change being introduced by the development team. Okay, so that is why operational team are always under, they're always under a lot of work, lot of stress. They're always buried under mountain of tasks. Okay, so that is why operational team doesn't want the changes to happen frequently. Okay, they don't want changes to happen to the application which is working properly. They don't want the changes to happen frequently because they are, they are not, they don't want the application to go down. Okay, and they have to coordinate with client, right? So that is why they don't want the application to go down, and that is why they are not uh, okay with new changes to the application frequently. But on the other side, development team has constant pressure from the client end. Client is asking for changes, right? So development team also wants the changes to happen immediately. Now this creates a gap, guys. Development team wants to introduce the changes because they are getting pressure from client end. Operation team doesn't want changes to happen because they are afraid that the application might go down, right? So this creates a gap between development team and operational team. This is why a new concept was created, which we call it as DevOps. In order to address this issue, in order to work with these two teams, and in order to fill up the gap between these two teams, a new concept was created, which we call it as DevOps. Now, DevOps is taken from two words. Dev is taken from development, ops is taken from operations. Okay, now who is a DevOps engineer? DevOps engineer is a person who is going to work with these two teams in order to bridge the gap between these two teams. Okay, so that the DevOps engineer will work with along with these two teams. He will carry out some operations task, he will carry out some development task, and he will use some tools, he will use some scripting knowledge, he will use some automation techniques to, you know handle all those challenges which are being faced by these two teams. All right, so what are those tools? Let's try to understand them in the next slide. These are some of the important DevOps tools which a DevOps engineer should or he's going to work on. Okay, so see, in software development lifecycle, this is a cycle, guys. SDLC, different stages of software development lifecycle. See, coding, building, test, release, all these are different stages of software development lifecycle. In each and every stage of SDLC, we have some tools. Okay, we have some tools, or we can say applications also. These are some important applications or tools, and we are going to learn these DevOps tools. Not everything, but some of the important ones. See, Git, Maven, Jenkins, Kubernetes, Ansible, Chef, AWS Core, Docker, all these things we are going to learn. Okay, not every tool is important. One tool from one stage is enough. Okay, so let's try to see who is a DevOps engineer. DevOps engineer is a person, he or she is going to have or should have good knowledge in software development lifecycle. Okay, we should understand how the software is getting developed in our project. Proper understanding should be there because from end to end, and one second, guys. Okay, I'm going to complete. I'll take your questions in a moment. Okay, just give me 10 minutes. So DevOps engineer is a person who is going to have complete knowledge about SDLC, how the project is getting developed, from where the data is getting the data is flowing, which team is handling which part. Everything should be known by the DevOps engineer. DevOps engineer should have good knowledge on the automation tools. Just now I shown you, right? Those tools should have good knowledge with respect to those DevOps tools. Okay, he or she should have knowledge in adapting the developing continuous integration and continuous deployment. See, we are going to see the data or the project is getting developed and it is up and running 24 by 7. Okay, so the whole process is called as continuous integration, where the project is getting developed, and continuous deployment, where the project is up and running and it is getting installed, it is getting up and running, it is properly getting maintained, it is called as continuous deployment. Okay, so this whole process has to be maintained by the DevOps team. DevOps engineer should have this following skill set. He or she should have good knowledge in Python or any scripting language like shell scripting, Python scripting, Java scripting, Ruby, Perl, anything. Any one language will be enough. But nowadays, a lot of companies are asking Python. Okay, Python. DevOps engineer should have knowledge in CI/CD pipeline. Just I told you, right? CI/CD. Okay. So how the CI/CD works, all these things should be knowledge should be there by the DevOps engineer. DevOps engineer should have good knowledge in configuration management. See, we have lot of servers in project. We'll be having lot of servers. We are going to manage those servers with the help of these configuration management tools. Okay, what are those tools? Chef and Ansible. Okay, Chef and here see this diagram. These two tools. Okay, so we are going to learn these two tools as well. And apart from that, DevOps engineer should have good knowledge in working with containers. Containers is a part of a tool called Docker. Okay, so we should have good knowledge in Docker as well. I'm going to teach you Docker from scratch. All right, so you should understand few things here. A lot of people think that DevOps is all about tools. DevOps is all about tools, or DevOps is a software. No, guys, DevOps is not a software, or it's not about tools. It's actually the methodology. Just like waterfall model, just like DevOps, just like waterfall, just like agile, we have DevOps methodology. Okay, using DevOps, we are going to introduce automation in our software development cycle, and we are going to see that the application is released to the client end at the earliest, and the application is running 24 by 7. That is the main motto of DevOps. Okay, so we are going to see that application is getting developed as soon as possible. So remember that DevOps is not a software. Many people ask me, Venkat, can I learn the DevOps software and can I become a DevOps engineer? No. I answered to them that no, DevOps is not a software, guys. It's all about the process, or it's about the methodology which you're going to implement, using which the application gets developed at the earliest. Cloud computing has become mandatory. Today, a lot of companies are migrating their infrastructure from on-premise to cloud. Cloud means what? The AWS, Azure, GCP, OCP, Dell Cloud, Linode, DigitalOcean. All these are different cloud platforms. Okay, so people or companies are migrating their servers, their infrastructure to the cloud, and that is why we are going to learn AWS as well. Okay, we're going to learn AWS as well as a part of cloud computing knowledge. So both freshers and experience can switch to DevOps. People who are from different backgrounds, like uh, some of you are from non-IT background, right? Like marketing, sales, banking, financial, BPO sectors, telecom. So people who are from non-IT sectors also can learn DevOps and they can switch to IT industry. Linux basics is a advantage. If you have knowledge in Linux, that will be added advantage. But if you don't have, don't worry. I'm going to teach you from scratch. Okay. Programming knowledge will also be an added advantage. If you have any programming knowledge like Python, Java, anything like that, that will be added advantage. But it doesn't mean that if you don't have, it doesn't mean that you are behind. Okay. Programming knowledge will be added advantage, but we are not going to use that here. Okay. More job opportunities for DevOps. If you see the current market, if you go to naukri.com or LinkedIn, you can see lot of opportunities are there. Okay, lot of opportunities are there for DevOps engineer. You might now you're listening the demo means you might have understood that DevOps is a very important hot skill now, and companies are looking for DevOps engineers. Right? Every company, every organization are trying to automate the software development life cycle, and for that they need good DevOps engineers. Okay, so see here, I'm just searching for DevOps here. See, I'm searching for DevOps engineer, and how many jobs are there here? Try to see this. Okay, just try to see. From work from home only, we have some 5,000, and from in Hyderabad we have this many. In Bengaluru we have this many. Okay, so these many jobs are there for DevOps. All right, so this is a very important hot skill now, and you have chosen the right you have chosen the right course for your career. Okay, now the next thing is, what are we going to learn? Okay, for the next for the next 70 days we are going to learn these tools. Okay, we'll start with AWS. See, as I told you, for DevOps we need AWS. Okay, one of the cloud platform is important, any cloud platform, Azure, AWS, anything, but I'm going to teach you AWS here. Okay, so we'll start with AWS. We'll see some different services in AWS like EC2, auto scaling, load balancer, virtual private cloud, okay, identity access management, S3 buckets, okay, and some other services in AWS. This will be taking place around 20-25 days. We'll complete this, okay, AWS. After that, we'll see the DevOps tools. Okay, we'll take play. I mean, the Linux fundamentals will be taking place. Okay, I'll teach you Linux from scratch. After that, I'll teach you Git for source code management, Docker for containerization, Ansible for configuration management, Chef also. Okay, Chef for configuration management also, Jenkins for continuous integration, Maven for automation build purpose. I'll combine all these tools and I'll create a project. Okay, this is an important project which you're going to keep it in your resume. You are going to explain this in interviews. And after that, we have AWS CloudWatch, Kubernetes for container orchestration, Terraform for infrastructure as a code. To manage our infrastructure in AWS, we are going to use Terraform. Okay, so these are some of the important tools which you are going to learn over the next 70-75 days. So what do you need to start this course? We will be needing a laptop or a desktop with good internet speed. You are going to connect it to AWS. So for that you need an AWS account. Okay, because in AWS only we are going to launch different servers, Linux servers, Windows servers, to practice our DevOps tools. So AWS account is needed. I'll explain you how to create AWS account, all those things I have documents. I'll share it with you. And after that, we need putty and puttygen. Okay, these are two tools, two small softwares which has to be installed on our laptop. Or if you're not okay with putty, we can use moba xterm as well. Moba xterm. This is one more tool. Okay, we have one more tool in our market. This one you can see here, my taskbar. I'll explain you how to install that and all. Why are we using this software? To connect it to the servers. See, in AWS, we're launching the servers, right? In order to connect it to those servers, we are going to use these tools. So these are the three things which we need to start our course. The next thing, what I'm going to provide. See, I'll first provide the theoretical knowledge. Okay, whatever the theoretical knowledge is there, I'll provide you the theory part. Immediately, I'll explain that with the help of some examples. I'll show you in practical as well. I'll launch one Linux server in AWS. I'll show you the theory part. Okay. Immediately after the class, I'll provide the material as well. Okay. Whatever the theory you have seen, the slides which you are seeing in the PPTs, I'll share you those exact PPT in a Word document in the Google Drive. Okay. So I'll provide you the material as well. What is the next thing? Once a DevOps tool completes, okay, once you have completed learning one DevOps tool, I'll provide you the interview question and answers so that you can simultaneously prepare for the interviews as well. All right, important interview question and answers, which I have been for what are the interviews I'm taking for the experienced candidates in my company. I'll share you those interview questions, and apart from that, I'll share you some important questions from internet as well. And whatever the interview I have I have attended, I have consolidated all the questions in one document and I'll share you those documents. If you are interested for a mock assessment after completion of each topic or each tool, if you want to assess yourself how much you have understood, I'm okay with taking mock assessment as well. Okay, this will help you to understand how much you have learned about that tool. Okay, and finally, resume preparation and tips. By the end of the course, I'll give you some tips how to prepare an resume, DevOps resume. What are the things has to be mentioned, what are the things should not be mentioned, how to crack the interview, and what are the topics which has to be learned without fail. All those things I'll give you in the last class. All right, so the course is for 70 days, guys. Okay, 70. And I'm going to connect from Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday, I'm going to connect. Saturday, Sunday is off. The timings are 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. IST. Okay, Indian Standard Time. People who are connecting from US, please make a note of it. Okay. All the classes will be video recorded, and all the videos will be uploaded in Google Drive. These videos which are uploaded in the Google Drive, the link will be provided to you. You can access all the videos, all the documents will be uploaded in the Google Drive. You can check out the videos whenever you want. For example, if you have missed any class due to some health issues or something, you don't need to worry. You can just check out the video which is going to be uploaded by the end of the day. All right. And for any course details, okay, course or fees details, please talk to the management. Okay. Speak to the admin team or management team. Okay. The institute has a separate team who are going to deal with the fees and all. Please talk to them and they'll help you out with the fees part. All right, guys. So you can start asking the questions. Okay, what are the questions you have? You can start asking.
Sir, what are the limitations of agile model?
What are the limitations of agile model? So agile, again, the agile has certain limitations. Like one of the limitations in the sense, like you're asking about the drawbacks and all.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so the
drawbacks.
first thing is, in the agile we don't have documentation part. Okay, the documentation is very limited, and that is where we are going to, whenever we have any issues or something, we can't get documentation part, and that creates a problem. And apart from that, what we have We have resource planning. How many people are going to need it for the project? Okay, how many people are going to work on certain part, certain task? The resource planning is one of the drawbacks in agile. Okay, and some other drawbacks are there, but these two are the most important one. One is resource planning, how many people are going to work on certain part, certain task, and the second is limited documentation. Okay, what kind of documents, the documents which are required for creating the what are the tasks which you have completed. Document has to be created, right? And some of the projects in some of the companies, they don't create documentations, and when the issue comes without the documentation part, that is going to be creating a huge problem. I hope that cleared your doubt.
Yeah, yeah. But what is the main point we are switching into DevOps from Agile?
As I told you, main thing is initiating automation. What are the stages are there? We're trying to initiate automation between each and every stage. Now, in Agile, that the switching to one stage from another stage, development to testing, that happens manually. But here we're trying to introduce automation with the help of some tools. Okay, and with
So,
the help of some tools, but
yeah, yeah.
yeah, please go ahead.
So if everything becomes automated between the development operations, then how come the jobs will be there? I mean, what a DevOps engineer will be doing if it becomes automation?
DevOps in is going to monitor those automation. Automation is the once the work is automation automated, it doesn't mean that every time the job should be successful. Okay, what are the tasks which are being handled by the automation part? There is no rule that the job should be successful every time. So most of the cases, the jobs will be failing. Okay, we have to monitor them, we have to maintain them properly, we have to see why those jobs are not getting automated. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, fine.
yes, guys. Next
And
doubt.
when does the course will be starting?
Course, I mean, we have some demos now, and this course will start from Wednesday onwards. Today and tomorrow will be the demos. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Hello, Venkat. Uh,
Yeah.
ca- can you tell me whether Kubernetes and Terraform are also in this part and how much knowledge you would be providing on those parts?
Yes. So you can see the slide. I hope you're able to see my screen. In the last, I have mentioned Kubernetes and Terraform. Okay. So Kubernetes and Terraform are included in this course. We are going to learn them. And the second part of your question, okay, how much I'm going to give you the uh, how much I'm going to learn, how much I'm going to talk about Kubernetes and Terraform, right? So the answer to that question is that you can keep up to 2 to 3 years of experience for Kubernetes and Terraform. What are the topics which I'm going to cover in Kubernetes and Terraform? You can keep up to 2 to 3 years, okay? Like not to an extent level, not to an very very high end level, but I'm going to teach Kubernetes and Terraform in such a way that you can keep up to 2 to 3 years of experience, okay?
Okay.
All right,
And
guys. Any other doubts?
yeah,
Yeah.
another one. I was going through the course details from your
Mm-hmm.
official site,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
here it was mentioned that Nagios is also there, I guess.
Nagio. Okay, so the curriculum which you have seen is old one. Okay, instead of Nagios, I'm going to teach you one more another monitoring tool. Nagios has become old, guys. So I'm going to teach you something called Prometheus. Okay,
Okay.
Prometheus and Grafana. See that the document which you have seen is an older one. I need to update it. A lot of things have changed from that document. And instead of Nagios is not being asked anymore. Okay, so we are going to learn something called Prometheus plus Grafana. That is a monitoring tool, application monitoring tool. All right, guys. Next question, please.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సార్ దిస్ ఇస్ ఉదయ్
Good morning,
యాక్చువల్లీ
Uday.
మీరు ఇక్కడ ఇక్కడ ఉన్న టూల్స్ అన్ని ఇన్ డెప్త్గా చెప్తారు కదా సార్
Yes, sir. Of course.
అండ్ వన్ మోర్ డౌట్ సార్. ఇప్పుడు ఎన్ని ఇయర్స్ మనం ఈ టూల్స్తోని ఎన్ని ఇయర్స్ మనం మేనేజ్ చేయొచ్చు సార్, అంటే ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ని?
All right. So once the course is completed, you can keep up to 2 to 3 years of experience. Okay. Or you can keep up to, like, 4 years of experience. 2 to 4 years of experience. See, I know some of you guys are working in different domain, and you want to switch to IT industry, and you are choosing DevOps as your career path. Now, the first question is, Venkat, after completing this course, how much experience I'm going to keep? Because some of you guys are going to keep some fake experience, right? Some certificates and all, you are going to keep it, and you're going to attend the interviews. You can keep up to 2 to 4 years of experience, guys. Okay, you can showcase that you have worked as a DevOps engineer up to 2 to 4 years.
ఓకే. అండ్ వన్ మోర్ థింగ్ సార్, యు ఆర్ మెన్షన్డ్ రియల్ టైమ్ ఎక్స్పర్ట్. బట్ వాట్ ఆర్ ద
Mhm.
ప్రాజెక్ట్ యు ఆర్ షోయింగ్? అంటే రియల్ టైమ్‌లో చూపెడతారా? లేకపోతే ప్రాజెక్ట్‌లో
Real
ఎలా
time means
అంటే
real time means like practical part. You are going to ask practically or
ప్రాక్టికల్
what?
పార్ట్ సార్. అంటే మీ అక్కడ
Yes, of course,
వెబ్‌సైట్‌లో
of course.
మెన్షన్ చేశారు పర్టిక్యులర్‌గా రియల్ టైమ్ ఎక్స్పర్ట్ అని. సో,
Mhm.
ప్రాజెక్ట్ అనేది, ప్రాక్టికల్ అనేది ఎలా ఎక్స్‌ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తారు? రియల్ టైమ్‌లోనేనా? అట్లా.
So all these tools are there, right? All these tools. I'm going to
యెస్
use
సార్.
all these tools, and I'm going to create one project. Okay. I'll show you one Java project will be there. I'll take some Java source code from GitHub, sample Java source code. I'm going to build that code. Once I build that code, I'll show you how to, deploy into the server. Okay. So all these tools, in the box, what are the tools you're seeing? All these tools are going to be integrated together to create one project. All right. So practically, I'm going to show you the project. Okay. You can work on that project. The project will be there for 2 days, part one and part two. You can work on that project. You can explain that project in the interviews, that this was my project, and this is how the in my previous company the project was being handled.
Sir, how come one project is enough in interviews? I mean, when we put 2 to 3 years experience, we must have done more than one project, right? So how
Yes,
does
yes, correct.
one project work?
Yeah, so basically, one project, the previous project which you are going to explain, the CI/CD project which I'm going to give, you are going to explain it very clearly, and that is going to be your current project, okay, the last project. But before that, what are the projects you are going to mention? You should have some basic knowledge about it. I'll give you that, all those details, all those tips, I will give you in the last class, resume preparation and tips. Okay, so how to explain the previous older projects and all, I'll tell you that in detail in that class. Okay, so basically you should have some basic knowledge. Once the course is completed, right, you'll get an idea. Okay, this should, I mean, we should explain the project in this way. All those details, all those ideas will come to you automatically. Okay.
Sir, how many projects are enough to put in the resume for 1 year experience?
See, a project, for example, if you're keeping like 3 years of experience, you can keep, like, two projects, 1.5 and 1.5, which means 3 years. Okay. So keep at least two projects, and that will be good. If you're keeping
No,
for
sir,
like
I'm
four
asking
four
for
years of
one
experience,
1 year only.
yeah, 1 year or so you can keep 1 year, total 1 year. If you're
Yeah,
going to
for one
showcase
year, I'm
that
asking you one project is enough or not, or more than one.
one project for 1 year is enough. Okay, you can keep more than one
Yeah,
year
then.
also. There is no issues with that. At least keep one project for 1 year.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, because if you are switching too many projects in short period of time, companies will think more about you. Okay, they'll get start different doubts about your career. Okay, why you are switching so many projects in short period of time, all those doubts will come. Okay, so at least keep 1 year of experience for one project. All right, guys, next doubt please.
Yes, sir.
Are you to going to do any projects here at the end?
Yes, yeah, I'm going to see. I'm going to take one project also. Okay, once all these tools are completed, There will be a 2-day program. 2 days I'll teach you one project. Part 1 and part 2 will be there, and all these tools are going to be integrated together to set up one single project. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Next
Hello,
doubt,
sir.
please. Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah,
any
yeah, please
offline
tell me.
classes is available there? Any offline classes
Any
available there? If there, yes,
offline
offline
classes?
classes is
Uh,
available.
at, at this moment, we don't have offline classes. Uh, I mean, we are considering the new variant of COVID, right? And with the that new variant is spreading fastly, right? So we don't want to take any risk with the students, and all these things are going on. So that is why at this moment we don't have offline classes. Only online classes are going on.
Yes.
All right, guys. Any other doubts? Okay. So just want to mention that we have a WhatsApp group. On Friday and Saturday I have taken some demos. People have joined this course, they have enrolled this course, they have shared their WhatsApp numbers, and I have added them into the WhatsApp group, okay, who have already joined the course by paying the fees. Now if you guys are interested in joining this course, you can share your mobile number so that you can get the course details, okay, when the class is going to start, what are the topics we are going to discuss. Even you can ask doubts and all, okay. So you can share your WhatsApp number in the chat box if you are interested in joining this course. Okay.
So I have a question.
Yeah. Please tell me.
What is expected salary for 1 year experience and for 3 year experience?
Okay. For
Salary in
example,
medical.
yeah. So basically, it works in this way. For 1 year of experience, in the companies are offering 2 lakhs per annum. Okay. So for example, if you have 3 years of experience, 3 into 2. Okay. So that will be like around 6 lakhs per annum. Okay. 6 to 7 lakhs per annum. That is not an exact figure, but I'm giving a just a rough idea how the market is going on. I have some students who have kept 3 years of experience and they are doing good. Okay, they are earning like around 9 to 10 lakhs per annum. It depends upon the project, it depends upon the company as well. Companies like Deloitte, Accenture, they pay very well. Okay,
Yeah, okay.
all right. Next question, please.
Sorry to ask you, sir. Can I know your LinkedIn ID?
My LinkedIn ID, yeah. One second, I don't remember it, but let me share it with you.
Sorry if you are objected.
No issues, no issues. Let me share it with you. I have it somewhere. I have kept. One second. Details, course details. Yeah, next question, please. I'll share that LinkedIn ID. But before that, any other questions? Yeah. So the LinkedIn ID is this one. Please note it down.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a doubt on Python. So I'm not aware of Python. Did it will affect on DevOps?
Not no, not to a huge level. Okay. So if you learn Python, if you have some basic knowledge about it by the end of this course, that will be enough. Okay. See, scripting is uh, one of the what do you call that skill set of a DevOps engineer. Okay. Not every DevOps engineer is good with scripting part. Okay, so try to learn
Okay.
some important basics of Python. That will be enough to crack the interviews. How much experience you are going to keep?
So actually 2 or 3.
2 or 3. So yeah,
Yeah.
to try to learn some basics things. I'll share you those documents and all. Try to learn those things, and that will be enough. Okay, don't go too much. I mean, don't go too deep into the scripting part.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Next question, please. Okay, guys.
And one
So
more,
that's it, I think.
sir, లాస్ట్ వన్ సార్, లాస్ట్ డౌట్. ఇప్పుడు
Yeah, yeah.
ఏడబ్ల్యూఎస్ మీరు చెప్పేస్తారు కదా సార్, అడిషనల్గా ఏడబ్ల్యూఎస్ క్లాస్ ఎక్కడ వినాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు కదా సార్?
Okay. Good question. So see, so okay, so you have asked that AWS, which whatever I'm going to teach you AWS, is that enough or you want to learn anything new? See, AWS is a separate certification program. Okay, AWS is a separate certification program, and the course is for around 90 days. Okay, 90 days. It's a 90 days course. All right, and it covers lot of services. AWS has 100 plus services. If you want to do the certification like AWS Solutions Architect, if you want to do AWS DevOps Engineer certification, you have to cover all these 100 plus services. Okay, you have to good with all these services. Only then you can crack the certification program. Right now, what I'm going to teach you are some of the services, some of the important services only. Okay, which is required for DevOps. DevOps కి కావాల్సినంత ఇంపార్టెంట్ సర్వీసెస్ మాత్రమే నేను నేర్పిస్తున్నాను. ఆల్రెడీ యూ హావ్ టు రిమెంబర్ దాట్ what are the services which are required for DevOps. That is what I'm going to discuss, not everything. Okay, if I teach you the entire AWS, the course is going to end after 1 year. All right, so 90 days plus the DevOps classes, which means 60 days. 90 plus 60, around 120 days, which means after 6 months you're going to complete this course. That is not correct. Okay, only which are important for DevOps, that is what we are going to discuss here. Remember that point.
థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Sir, one last question.
Mhm. Yeah.
Are there any specific course for the CD part, means continuous deployment part, means for tools like Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, and some monitoring tool?
Separate courses for that? No, we don't have any separate courses. uh, we have to learn DevOps. In that, that continuous deployment is a part of it.
Okay.
All right, guys. So I hope you like the demo, and if you are interested for second demo tomorrow, also I'm taking one more demo. You can join the demo once again. If you have any queries, you can ask your doubts in that session as well. At the same time, at 8 a.m., I'm going to take the second demo, and very soon I'm going to start the classes. Like Wednesday or Thursday, based on the students' flow, I'm going to start the classes. And if you're interested, you can enroll for the course. You can talk to the management with about the fees and all, and we can start the classes soon. All right, so I hope you like the demo. That's it from my side. Thank you for joining, and have a good rest of the day. Bye. Please confirm you're able to hear me. Am I audible, guys? Please confirm. Please confirm, guys, you are able to hear me. All right. Okay, so let me start the demo. Okay, so let me introduce myself first. My name is Venkat. You can call me, my name is Venkatesh. You can call me Venkat, and I have 9 plus years of experience, okay, in the IT industry. And currently I'm working for TCS as a senior DevOps engineer, and I'll be taking the demo today. Okay, so see here, I hope you have seen these companies, right? You have installed these apps on your mobile. What about these apps? Have you used these apps? Have you ever listened to these companies? Most of the people might not, right? So what is the difference between these two? What is the difference between these two and these three companies? Basically, these companies were launched in 2005. Okay, in 2005 these were launched, but these were launched in 2010 and 11. Though there was a difference of 5 years, 5 years gap is there, right, between their launch, but still these companies became number one in the market. Number one in the market. Why? Because they understood what is the customer requirement is. What is customer is looking for. What is a customer is looking for? He's looking for easy access of booking a cab. And that is why Ola and Uber, they launched their Android and iOS applications. They launched their apps into the market, right? But whereas these companies didn't launch their apps and they left behind, right? They were left behind. They were they were not in the competition, right? So that is a major difference. Every organization will try to understand the customer requirement in order to become number one in the market. They have to follow some goals. What are those goals? Let's try to see them. The first organization goal, every company will look for some targets, and these are some of them. Okay, the first one is faster delivery of the product. Okay, faster delivery means whenever a company is trying to launch any product or any application into the market, they'll try to see that that product is into the market as soon as possible. That is the first product, they will try to launch it as soon as possible because they don't want to become the number second. Okay, they don't want to become number two in the market. That is why they'll try to launch the product as soon as possible. Okay, because once they have launched the product into the market, obviously many people will start using it. Obviously they'll try to become number one. Okay, because see, I'll give you one example. You have used Paytm, right? Paytm was the first company in India who launched their digital payments, right? Paytm only launched it, right? Digital payments and all. After that many companies came, but Paytm is the first company who has introduced digital payments. That is why Paytm was number one for many years. Okay, so that is a main goal of a organization: faster delivery. They'll try to deliver the product to the customer as soon as possible. The second one is higher quality of the product. Whenever they are delivering a product to the customer, every organization will see that the quality is not compromised. See, faster delivery means it doesn't mean that the quality should be compromised. Okay, the quality is also very important. Okay, so that is the second organization goal. The third one is less expenditure. If the expenditure to complete a project is very less, obviously we can expect more returns, right? We can expect more returns and more profits. That is why every organization will try to see that where they can cut down the cost to develop the project. And finally, minimizing the outages. Minimizing the outages means whenever there is an issue with the application, with the software, they'll try to see that the issue is fixed as soon as possible. Okay, they'll try to see that whatever the issue has come up, the issue is resolved, and very less people are affected by it. I'll give you one example. See, eh, in few months ago, Google was down. Google Gmail was down, Google Maps was down, Google Drive was down, right? Companies who were using Gmail for communication for official purposes, obviously their business was down, right? And cab drivers who were using Google Maps for navigation, obviously they were also affected because of the Gmaps was down, right? So in this way, a lot of people are affected when the Google was down, right? So what Google tried to do, Google tried to fix the issues as soon as possible. They try to fix the issues at the earliest, and they resumed their services. So in this way, every company will try to see that whenever the application is down, they'll try to fix the issues at the earliest. Now we'll see something called software development lifecycle. Okay, we have something called software development lifecycle. Let me give you one example. So see, every organization will have a development team. Okay, development team. Development team is what? Development team means the programmers who are writing the programming code, right? That is the development team. They will develop the code and they will hand over the code to the client, right? They'll hand over the code to the client or customer. This environment, the servers where the customer is where the customer is handling these servers and all, this environment is called as production environment. Okay, production environment. So what the development team will do, whatever the programming code or whatever the product they have built, they will hand over the product to the customer. This process we call it as delivery. Okay, delivery. Once the product is handed over to the client will start using it, and what they will give us a feedback. Okay, they will give us a feedback. Whatever the product they are using it, they'll give us a feedback. Usually, the feedback will consist of what? Bugs, issues, enhancements. Okay, so basically, the client, whatever the bugs they are facing after they start using the product, what are the bugs or what are the issues or what are the challenges they're facing or what are the enhancements, what are the changes they were looking for, all those changes will be explained back to the development team via a feedback. Now the development team, what they will do, they'll take this feedback, they'll start modifying the source code, they'll start changing that application, and what they'll do, they'll release a new version of that software, new version. Okay, version 1.0. All right. So again, the client will start using it, and again, after a few days, the client will provide a feedback. Okay, in this way, the development team and the client will coordinate together for modifying the source code, and what are the changes the client is expecting, all those changes will be delivered. Okay, now this is a very simplistic approach of software development lifecycle. This is a cycle which we call it as software development lifecycle. Okay, in short, we call it as SDLC. Now, what you are looking on the screen is very simplistic approach, very simple example I have given, but in real time, between these two stages, between development and client, there are a lot of multiple stages involved. Let's try to see what are those stages and all. So see here, these are some of the important stages of software development lifecycle. The first one is idea. Okay, first the idea is taken, then the requirements are gathered. Requirements means how many people are going to work, what kind of platform is going to be used, all those details will be gathered. After that, a plan will be designed. Okay, in how many days the project has to be developed, who is going to support it, all those planning will be taken. And after that, the programmers will start writing the development code. Once the code is written, it will be tested, quality analysis will be done, and after that it will be deployed into the client servers. Once it is deployed successfully, it will be monitored and it will be maintained. Again, the cycle will start. Okay, once the client will provide the feedback, again the same cycle will follow on. Okay, so this is software development lifecycle. In software development lifecycle, we have different methods. Okay, in order to achieve the software development lifecycle, we have different approaches. Let's try to understand what are those important approaches. The important approach is a waterfall model and agile model. Okay, in waterfall model, all the stages, what are the stages are there in the software development lifecycle? All the stages are broken down in a linear sequential phase. What do you mean by that? It means that All the stages in software development lifecycle is depending upon the deliverables of previous stage. Deliverables of previous stage, which means that if development is completed, only then the testing will take place. If the testing is completed, only then the build release will take place. Okay, so in this way, if the deployment is completed, only then the monitoring will start. So each stage is depending upon the delivery of the previous stage. That is a drawback of waterfall model. And because of this, we are not going to achieve the first organization goal, which is faster delivery of the product. We can't achieve that first one. Okay, so that is why a lot of companies have switched to agile methodology. Okay, agile also has some drawbacks, but now most of the companies are using agile only. Okay, in agile there is no dependency with the parallel, there is no dependency with the previous stage. All the stages of life cycle are running parallelly, you can see here. Okay, development and testing both are going on parallelly, build and release are going on parallelly, monitoring and maintenance are going on parallelly. There is no dependency with the previous stages. That is why agile is faster, agile is more reliable. Okay, and that is why most of the companies today are using agile methodology only. Now we'll try to understand in a software development project why exactly we need DevOps. Okay, so basically we have two teams. Okay, majorly two teams are there. One is development team and operational team. Now who is a development team? Development team is nothing but people who are from programmers, developers, build team, testing team, quality assurance team. All these people comes under development team. In the same way, operational team means what? People who are from cyber security team, network administration team, um, deployment team, monitoring team, maintenance team. All this comes under operations team. Okay. The major task of development team is to coordinate with the client, take their feedback, and what are the changes they are requesting for, do those changes in the application. Okay, for example, if we have software and the client is looking for any changes, they will coordinate with the development team only. Okay, what are the changes they want, they'll explain to development team, and development team will try to implement those changes. Okay, they'll try to introduce those changes into the application, you can see here. So their development team major task is to introduce the changes what the client is looking for. Okay, and coming to operational team, the operational team is responsible for coordinating with the client, coordinate with the client to check whether the application is working in different environment or not. Okay, whether the application is running in different environment or not. They have to create the logs, okay, collect the logs, maintain the logs, create incidents and tickets. What are the changes are happening, they have to create the incidents and tickets. Okay, and also they have to create the documents and all, documentation part. All this task has to be done by the operational team. So operational team has a lot of work whenever there is a new change in the application. Okay, that is why operational team is always buried under lot of work. This is the main reason why the operational team doesn't want changes to happen frequently, because they don't have the time to test the new changes. That is why optional team doesn't want those changes to happen frequently. They're not against it, but they don't want the changes to happen more frequently. Okay, but on the other hand, the development team wants to introduce the changes immediately because the client is looking for those changes. This creates a gap between the two teams. Okay, operational team want the changes to happen immediately, sorry, development team wants the changes to happen frequently, and operational team doesn't want those changes to happen frequently because they have to follow all these things, right? To in order to address this issue, in order to fill up the gap between these two teams, a new concept was created, which we call it as DevOps. Okay, DevOps. Now DevOps is a two word. Okay, dev is taken from development,
and ops is taken from operations. Okay. Now using this DevOps, a DevOps engineer is going to bridge the gap between these two teams. Bridge the gap means the DevOps engineer is going to fill up this gap with the help of some DevOps tools. He is going to use some DevOps tools, he is going to use some automation scripts, and he is going to fill up these gaps, and he is going to help these two teams to overcome this main issue. Okay, so how he is going to do that? With the help of some DevOps tools. See here, these are some of the DevOps tools which we are going to learn. This is the software development lifecycle. In the software development lifecycle, in each stage, we have different tools. These all are different tools, guys. And as a DevOps engineer, we're going to learn these tools. Okay, these tools we are going to learn. So who is a DevOps engineer? DevOps engineer is a person who coordinates with development team and operational team in order to build the software development lifecycle with more automation techniques. Okay, so DevOps engineer should have good understanding in SDLC. In whichever project you are working, you should have complete knowledge about that project, how the project is implemented, from where to where the workflow is going on. All this information you should have it. DevOps engineer should have good knowledge in automation tools. Okay, what are the tools I mentioned, right? All those tools you should have good knowledge in. A DevOps engineer should have knowledge in developing continuous integration and continuous development pipeline. Okay, continuous deployment and continuous delivery pipeline. See, what are the SDLC is there, right? It should be automated. There should not be any manual task. In order to make it as automated, we have to set up continuous integration and continuous deployment pipeline. How to do this? We are going to learn this in a tool called Jenkins. In Jenkins, we'll understand this more clearly. Okay, about CI/CD. Also, DevOps engineers should have good knowledge in scripting languages. Okay, if at least some basic knowledge should be there in scripting languages like Python, Java scripting, shell scripting, or bash scripting, PowerShell, anything like that. At least you should have some basic knowledge. Should have good knowledge in CI/CD pipeline, the same thing which I told. And apart from that, configuration management tools. There are some tools like Chef and Ansible, and using this Chef and Ansible, we have to manage our servers. Okay, we are going to learn these tools in our DevOps class. And apart from that, we have to work with Docker containers as well. Okay, Docker containers as well. Okay, so you should understand few things, guys. DevOps is not about tool. Okay, a lot of think that DevOps is all about tools and the applications. What are the tools which I mentioned, right? DevOps is all about tools only. No, DevOps is not a software, guys. It's actually a methodology. Same like Waterfall, same like agile. DevOps is also a methodology, or it's a process using which we are going to build the software development lifecycle with more automation techniques. Okay, so a lot of people ask me, Venkat, can I learn DevOps software and can I become a DevOps engineer? I say them that DevOps is not a software, guys. It's about methodology. It's about how we implement in our software development lifecycle to make it more faster and quicker. Okay, so that we can deliver the product to the client at a short period of time. Cloud computing knowledge has become mandatory. Today, a lot of companies are migrating to cloud, right? A lot of companies have stopped using physical servers. They have moved to cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, like that. So here also in DevOps, we are going to learn AWS as well. Okay, in DevOps classes, we are going to learn some AWS as well as a part of our course. Both freshers can experience switch to DevOps. People who are from different IT background, they can also switch to DevOps, guys. Okay, like people who are working in different domains like banking, financial, marketing, sales, even I mean those people also, if they are interested in IT industry, they can switch to IT industry with the help of DevOps. Okay, DevOps will be a good platform to get into IT industry. Linux basics will be added advantage. If you have any knowledge about Linux, that will be an added advantage. But if you not, no issues because we are going to learn it from scratch. Programming knowledge will be added advantage. If you have any programming knowledge like Java, like C, Java, Python, anything like that, that will be added advantage, but it doesn't mean that we are going to write some developing code. Okay, even if you don't have any knowledge, no issues because we have all about tools. Okay, DevOps is mostly about tools only. More job opportunities about DevOps. If you go to Naukri.com or LinkedIn, and if you search for DevOps, you'll get number of job opportunities. There are a lot of companies are looking for DevOps engineers. So today, DevOps is a hot skill, and many companies are looking for these DevOps engineer positions. What are we going to learn? We are going to learn first AWS. Okay, we'll learn all these AWS services and all this AWS EC2 auto scaling load balancer, VPC, all these things we are going to learn. Then we'll go with Linux fundamentals. We'll learn Git for source code management, version controlling, Docker for containerization, Ansible for configuration management of our servers, Jenkins for continuous integration and continuous delivery, Maven for automation build purpose. We'll combine all these services and we'll take one project. Okay, we are going to see this project. This is a 2 days project. We'll cover this for 2 days, part one and part two, and you are going to include this in your resume. You're going to tell this project in your interviews. All right. Once all these things are completed, we'll see AWS CloudWatch. Okay, it is a monitoring service in AWS. Kubernetes, this is a container orchestration program, and Terraform, this is a configuration management. You are going to use infrastructure as a code for managing our cloud infrastructure. Okay, so these are the tools we are going to learn. What do you need for starting this course? You will be needing one laptop or desktop. You'll need some internet connection. You have to create a AWS account because in AWS only we are going to launch our servers for practicing, and you need one putty and puttygen application to connecting to those Linux servers. What are the servers we are going to launch? In order to connect to them, we need this software. Okay, I'll tell you how to install and how to use it. I'll be providing first theory part. Okay, first I'll explain the theory part. How my classes works is first I'll start with theory. Okay, what are the theoretical part is there? I'll explain it. I'll immediately showcase that in practical as well. I'll launch one server in AWS. I'll log in into that server and I'll tell you how it is going to work. Okay. The next thing is interview question and answers. Okay, interview question and answers. So once the tool is completed, okay, what are the tool is we are discussing, we'll complete it immediately and I'll share you the interview question and answers as well. In case if you are interested in attending the interviews, you can parallelly prepare for the interviews as well. Okay. And once what are the theory part we have discussed, I'll provide you the material as well. Okay. The materials will be in the Word document. You can use those Word documents for your future reference. You can customize it. You can change it according to your understanding. If you're interested, I'll take one mock assessment as well. Okay, so that you can understand how much you have understood about that particular DevOps tool. And finally, by the end of this course, I'll give you some resume preparation and tips and tricks, how to prepare the resume, what are the things has to be included and what are the things should not be included, how to crack the interview, and how to explain the project and all those things we'll discuss it. Okay, so this course is for 70 days, guys. 70 days, Monday to Friday. The classes will be between 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Indian Standard Time. Okay, all the classes will be video recorded. Okay, all the classes will be video recorded and it will be provided in Google Drive. Okay, also all the documents will be uploaded in the Google Drive only. You can download those documents from Google Drive. Saturday and Sunday, you'll be not having classes. You can use this Saturday and Sunday for practicing the what are the concepts we have discussed. All right. So if you have any queries, please ask. No queries, guys. Nobody has any doubts. Okay. So see, few people have joined our course already. Okay, and they have enrolled their their registrations. Okay, they are already registered to this course. They have paid the fees and all. Now I have created a WhatsApp group for this particular batch. Okay, people who are interested, they can, they have to join this course and their number will be added into that group, and all the course details and batch details will be updated in that WhatsApp group. For example, if we don't have class today, if it is cancelled today, all that information will be provided in that group. All the documentation, all the updates, everything, all the discussions, doubts, everything will be discussed in that WhatsApp group if required. So in case if you are interested, you can share your mobile number, or also I have given a link in the chat box. You can join that group using that WhatsApp link. All right. Anybody has any doubts with respect to course, with respect to anything? Any doubts, guys? Nobody has any doubts?
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me.
So, what is the difference between Agile and DevOps methodology?
Okay. So major difference is that in agile there is no documentation. Documentation is very limited. Okay. For example, if you are performing any task, and there will be less documentation. But coming to DevOps, each and everything is documented. Okay, each and everything is documented. Now the second thing is, in agile we have, the automation is very less when compared to DevOps. In DevOps we try to focus on faster delivery. Okay, how we are going to do that? With the help of some automation. Okay, so with the help of the DevOps tools which I mentioned, we are going to automate major tasks, and we are going to release the software at frequent releases. I mean, every now and then, whenever the client is looking for changes, we are going to release the product to the client at frequent intervals. Okay, that is a major difference between Agile and DevOps. Got my point? Is that clear?
Y- Yes, sir.
Okay.
Got
Any other doubts, guys?
Sir, would you be teaching any real-time challenges that we used to face during the DevOps implementation?
Whenever we are trying to learn, whatever the concepts we are trying to learn, all those commands and all those concepts which you are going to discuss will also be compared with real-time scenarios. For example, if one topic is being discussed, how the topic will be used in real time, in what cases that topic will come, all those things will be discussed parallelly, okay, in that class itself.
Okay, sir.
So if you have any queries with respect to fees, any information if you want about fees and all, please talk to the Durga Soft management. The institute management is there, right? Please try to talk to them. You'll get the number and email ID from the official website. Talk to them, discuss with them. If you have any queries or any doubts, they will explain it to you about the fees part. Anything you want to ask about the course, content, curriculum, anything you can ask with me.
So from when actual classes will start, sir?
Class first will start from this Friday. Okay, from Friday,
Okay.
like another I think from two after 3 days.
Sure.
Any other doubts, guys? Everything is clear. I hope I was able to explain it clearly about what is DevOps and all. If you still have any queries, you can connect it to the administration team. They will set up one conference call with my mobile number. You can talk to me personally over phone as well. Okay.
One doubt, sir.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. Please tell me.
సార్ మీరు నిన్న క్లాస్ విన్నాను. ఒక
Mm,
ఆహ్, ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఎక్స్‌ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తా అన్నారు. అంటే
mm.
ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఎన్నఫా సార్? అంటే అన్నీ సేమ్ ప్రాసెస్‌లోనే ఉంటాయా?
Same
అంటే
process అంటే
జస్ట్ అంటే మీరు ఏమన్నారంటే, నేను రియల్ టైమ్‌లో మీకు ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఎక్స్‌ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను ఇన్ డీటెయిల్‌గా అని చెప్పారు కోర్స్ అయిపోయాక.
ఎస్.
సో, అంటే ఆ ఒక్క ప్రాజెక్టు అంటే రేపు పొద్దున ఫేక్ పెట్టుకొని ఎక్స్‌ప్లెయిన్ చేసుకోవాలి కదా సార్! అంటే ఒక్క ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఎనఫ్ సరిపోతుందా? సేమ్ ప్రాసెస్
ఓహో.
ఉంటుందా అన్ని ప్రాజెక్ట్స్?
maximum DevOps methodology or DevOps implementation సేమ్ ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, మీరు మీరు మీ resume లో ఎన్ని ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ పెట్టినా కూడా DevOps వర్క్ అయ్యేది సేమ్ ప్రాసెస్. ఓకే, సో ఏదైతే ప్రాజెక్ట్ నేను ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తున్నానో ఆ ప్రాజెక్ట్ మీరు 2 పార్ట్స్ కింద డివైడ్ చేసి పెట్టుకోండి. ఓకే, అది ఎలా పెట్టాలనేది నేను మీకు తర్వాత ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను. ఆల్ రైట్.
ఓకే. థాంక్ యూ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ. ఆల్ రైట్ గైస్, ఎనీ అదర్ డౌట్స్ ప్లీజ్ ఆస్క్, డోంట్ hesitate.
Is Python is a prerequisite for DevOps?
Sorry, can you repeat that? Python?
Is a prerequisite
Okay,
for
I'm sorry.
DevOps?
Okay, I'm sorry your voice is breaking, but let me repeat what you have said. You are saying Python is good for DevOps. Okay, so yeah,
Python is a prerequisite to learn a DevOps tool.
Python will be a good option to, for scripting part, you can learn Python for the DevOps. Okay, whenever you're, if you want, if you're planning to become a DevOps engineer, and Python will be a good option for scripting part. Okay, is that your doubt?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
All right, okay, thank you. Any other doubts, guys?
సార్ వన్ మోర్ క్వెషన్ సార్. ఇంకోటి మనకు మార్కెట్‌లో వేరే క్లౌడ్స్‌తోని కూడా డెవాప్స్ ఉన్నాయి. బట్ వై ఏడబ్ల్యూఎస్ డెవాప్స్ సార్? అంటే అంత ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఎందుకు ఏడబ్ల్యూఎస్ డెవాప్స్‌కి ఇవ్వాలి మనం? వేరే ఉన్నాయి గదా!
Yeah,
అంటే
yes.
అంటే జనరల్ క్వెషన్.
Yes, got it. So basically, we have AWS DevOps, we have Azure DevOps, we have Google Cloud DevOps, right? But why AWS DevOps? AWS is one of the most widely used cloud platform. Okay, AWS is widely used. It was the first company to launch the cloud platform services. After that, Azure came. After that, GCP, Dell, Oracle Cloud, DigitalOcean. A lot of services came, but AWS was first in the market. As I told you, whenever a product is launched first in the market, many people will start using it. That is why AWS has a very good market share. When compared to other cloud platforms, AWS has good market share. Many companies use that, and that is why DevOps is also revolving around AWS only. Okay, a lot of companies are looking for AWS plus DevOps engineers who can handle both AWS part as well as DevOps part. Okay, is it clear, Uday?
యెస్ సార్. థాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్.
Okay, all right,
So what will
guys.
be the tools in that, sir? All are comes under the commercial, or like is there any open source kind of tools in that stack?
You're talking about DevOps or AWS?
DevOps, sir.
Okay, see, in DevOps, what are the tools we are discussing? All are open source. Okay, all are free, all are open source. But also, some of the tools have premium versions, which means that, uh, in some tools, we have some certain features which can be unlocked by paying subscription fees. Okay, we can't unlock them uh, without paying any fee and all. Okay, so we have to pay a certain amount, and only then certain features can be used. Those features are used widely in the companies and all. Okay, I mean, not in every company, some of the companies will be using it, but all these tools which we are seeing now here, all these are open source, and we are going to learn them, all these things. Okay, most of the tools are open. This one, this is open source, this is also open source, open source, open source. These all things are open source. Okay, everything. This is also open source from AWS. But here in Jenkins we have some premium version, we have some features and all, and in Ansible we have certain features which has to be paid and we can use them. All right.
Okay, sir.
See, nothing is free in this world, right? In that same way, these tools are also not completely free. Okay. All right. Any other doubts, guys? Any other queries? Okay. So if anyone is interested in joining this course, you can share your WhatsApp number. I'll add it into the WhatsApp group. Also, I have shared the WhatsApp group link in the chat box. If you're interested, you can click on that link and you can join that WhatsApp group. Okay. So any other doubts, or shall we close it for today? Okay.
అండ్
So that's it
లాస్ట్
from,
డౌట్ సార్.
yeah.
ఏం లేదు సార్, ఇన్ డెప్త్ గా చెప్తారు కదా సార్, అదొక్కటే డౌట్.
See, in-depth గా చెప్తాను అంటే, see, I'm taking 70 days classes. Okay, I'm going to take 70 days, not that too Monday to Friday. Okay, so this is going to be a very detailed session. Every tool is going to be covered in a detailed manner, and it is designed in such a way that you crack the interviews. Interviews crack అయ్యేలాగానే నేను చెప్తాను. Okay, మీరు crack చేసే విధంగా చెప్తాను. All right.
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ
All the
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
important and all the major concepts will be covered. You can check the curriculum as well. All the major concepts will be covered which are important for cracking the interviews. All right.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
Okay, thank you. All right, guys,
Hello,
so that's
sir.
it from my side. Yeah, tell me,
Sir, one
please
more
ask.
question. Sir, do you need to deploy or develop the code in DevOps?
Debug the code?
De- develop the code.
No, no. See, we are not developers, right? If we are developers, we should be learning Java or Python. We're not programmers, we are DevOps engineers. We have to work with the development team and we have to work with operational team. We're not going to write any code and all. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you very
We
much.
are going to manage, we are going to manage the source code. What the developers are writing it, we are going to manage it properly.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any other doubts, guys? Akshay, Manikanta, Ramchandradu. Anyone has any doubts? Please ask. Vasavi, if you have any doubts, please ask.
When will the course starts actually? Tomorrow, day after
We are going to take few more demos. Some more people are going to join. The course is going to start from, actual classes are going to start from Friday onwards.
tomorrow?
Yeah, Friday onwards, after 2 days.
So you said that you'll be teaching some portion of AWS first, right? So how many
Yeah.
days you'll be taking for it?
See, AWS is it will be around 20-25 days, not exactly 20 to 25 days, based on the concepts we are discussing. Okay,
So
and
how
that
many?
will be not continuously. That will be not
Okay.
continuously. Once, I
So
mean, I have designed in such a way that every tool is the easy portion comes first, and the in-depth knowledge, I mean, the hard tools or the hard services are going to be discussed later on. Okay.
so in AWS, how many services will be covering?
We'll be covering around 5 to 8 services. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thanks.
See, let me tell you one thing. AWS is a separate course. Okay, we have separate around 100 plus services in AWS. And if we start learning complete services in AWS, it will take another 6 months. Okay, so because our course is 70 days, and that will be like around 3 months course. So just combine 90 days plus 70 days, it will be like around 160 days, close to almost all 6 to 7 months. So that is why all the important services which are required for DevOps only we are going to learn. Okay, but if you are still interested for to learn AWS, you can there are like some other in Durgasoft only we have separate tutors who teach AWS completely. Okay, so if you want to become AWS solutions architect or AWS developer, that will be a separate option.
Sir, after completing this course, what will be my role? I mean, my role is AWS architect or DevOps architect?
You are going to become a DevOps architect or a DevOps developer. Okay, developer means not writing the code. Developer means implementing the DevOps practices. Okay, so person who is going to implement DevOps practices, who is going to use these tools and all, is something called DevOps engineer or DevOps developer. Okay, so you're going to become that. I mean, that will be the correct designation or correct role. All right, and you will be what you will be doing is you will be coordinating with different teams in your project. You will be taking some information from them. You will be trying to set up the automation part. Okay, with the help of some these DevOps tools, you're going to set up the automation.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, any other doubts, guys? So if anyone is joining from US or UK, please note down the timings. The classes will be from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Indian Standard Time. Okay, so please make a note of it. The classes will start from Friday onwards, and we have classes only from Monday to Friday. Saturday and Sunday will be off. Okay, so I hope I was able to clear all your doubts, all your queries. If you have any queries still, you can please connect it to the management, the admin team. They'll set up one conference call. You can talk to me personally over the phone. Okay, so that's it from my side. Thank you for joining and have a good rest of the day. Bye. If you are facing any issues, please let me know. Okay, so today is our first class. Until now we have seen the demos, right? So we'll start a new topic, which is introduction to cloud computing. Okay, so in our DevOps class, first we'll learn about AWS, okay, which is required to learn for DevOps. So that all our DevOps concepts, all our DevOps tools, we are going to practice, right? And in order to practice all these DevOps tools, we need Linux server, right? Linux server. And in order to launch one Linux server, we are going to use AWS. Okay, in AWS cloud only, we are going to launch our Linux servers. Okay, so the first thing is, what is cloud computing? Okay, what is cloud computing? Now, the official definition, what we can say is, cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources. Okay, so what do you mean by IT resources? IT resources means like the servers, storage, any applications, network setup, all this comes under IT resources. And we are going to launch these resources in the cloud. Okay, so you might get one doubt here. What is cloud? Let's take one example. Okay, so whenever we are going to launch whenever we are going to launch any server, okay, let's say that you are launching one startup. Okay, you are starting a new company, and what do you need for that? You need physical infrastructure, right? To start any company, what do you need? We need physical infrastructure, right? So we need to buy servers, right? Servers with high configuration. So we need to buy servers with high expensive configuration. So this involves what? This involves finance, right? A huge investment. The next thing is what? We need to set up that infrastructure. We need to set up that infrastructure with operating system, applications, antivirus, firewall, security, everything, right? Again, we need finance here also. So operating system. Here also again, finance is involved. Again, huge investment. The third one, what we need? We need network setup, right? Network equipment. We need to install, right? Routers, switches and all. So network equipment is also required. Again, we need to spend amount for this also, right? Then we need to maintain and monitor this infrastructure. And for that, we need to hire qualified persons, right? So we need to hire right engineers. We need to pay them decent salaries. We need to give them benefits and all, right? System administrators, network administrators, database administrators. So we need to hire manpower. So again, we need financier, right? And finally, the most important thing, we need continuous electricity, right? So we need continuous electricity backup and air conditioning to maintain this infrastructure, right? So if everything goes well, the most important time is time to set up, to buy all these things, to set up all these things. It will take at least weeks of time it will take, right? So the same high-end configuration, the same RAM, the same CPU, the same hard disk space, okay, everything we can get the same configuration of the same servers, we can get it in 2 or 3 minutes with the help of cloud computing. Okay, with the help of cloud computing, we can get the same thing within few minutes of time. Okay, so that is the power of cloud computing, guys. So we can launch whatever requirement of servers with the required configuration, that too within few minutes of time. And also we have to pay comparatively very low what we are paying for physical infrastructure. The amount we are paying for setting up the physical infrastructure, that will be very much high when compared to what you are paying for cloud computing. All right, so that is the major advantage of using cloud computing, guys. So here some of you guys might not know what is physical infrastructure. So physical infrastructure means the physical servers. We used to have these blade servers, rack servers, right? So that high-end servers and all those servers are called as physical infrastructures. Okay. Now here we have different cloud providers in the market. Okay, we have a lot of cloud providers in the market. There are companies like AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, and Oracle Cloud, Dell Cloud, okay, DigitalOcean. We have a lot of cloud providers in the market who are giving us the option to set up our infrastructure in cloud. Okay, so what AWS is providing is that whatever the requirement we have, We can set it up using AWS, and that too at a very good pricing model. Why people are using AWS only? Because AWS offers uh, quality services, that too at a very good pricing model. Okay, so AWS uses a concept called pay as you go. Pay as you go model, which means that we have to pay only for what we are using. Okay, so we have to pay only for what we use based on the hours we use that servers. Okay, so which means that if you use for 1 hour, you have to pay it for 1 hour only. All right, and also AWS promises that our data is very safe. Okay, so data security is also provided by the AWS, so which means that data loss is not there. Okay, if we take the backup our server at right time, and AWS promises that data loss will not happen, and we can get our data backup 99% of the time. Okay, so basically, in simple terms, what I'm trying to say is, if we set up our infrastructure at our location, then that means it is physical infrastructure. And but in the cloud, whenever we set up our infrastructure in cloud, which means that servers are going to be launched in a remote location in some other place, but we are going to access those servers with the help of internet. Okay, now AWS uses something called data centers. Okay, they have created their data centers. I'll show you what is data centers and all, and they have launched these data centers at different locations in the world. Okay, in different cities they have set up their AWS data centers. Let me show you that. These are data centers. Okay, some example, guys. Okay, not exact data center. Data center will look like this. So what AWS have done, they have set up huge data centers like this in different parts of the world. What are those cities? Let's try to see. These are the cities. In these cities, AWS have set up these data centers. These data centers are there, right? Collection of servers. They have set it up in these different regions of the world. Okay, you can see all these different cities. They have set up AWS data centers. Then how these all are connected? How these data centers are connected from different cities? How this region is connected to this? How this region is connected to this? These are connected through sea link. Sea link under the ocean. Okay, under the sea, they have laid huge cables. These are huge cables, very strong, and which transmits huge amount of data per second. They have connected all these data centers with the help of these cables. Okay, several thousands of kilometers they have laid under the ocean. All right, so we are going to launch our servers in any region. Okay, in any region we can launch it. In US we have 4 regions. Okay, in Europe we have these many. In Asia we have these many. Okay, in Africa continent we have this. South America we have this. Okay, so these many regions are there in this world. We can launch our server in anywhere, in any region we can launch it up. Okay, we have a doubt here. Surya Manikanta is asking, what do you mean by buying a server? What does it do? Buying a server means, see, for example, as I told you in our example, buying a server means if you're launching any company, you want to set up your application, right? You will have your website, right? For example, if you're launching one e-commerce company like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, you are launching your own company. You'll host your website, right? People nowadays, people will try to buy things online. So where do you host your website? In a server. So what do you need? You need to buy a server, right? So what you can do, either you can buy it a physical server, Physical server means old model, that the huge big server, you can buy it. You have to keep it in a separate room. You have to maintain electricity. You have to maintain AC. You have to maintain a separate person for that, right? Instead of doing all those things, you can launch your server in AWS. Okay, so the electricity part, the air conditioning part, AWS will take care of it. Okay, all you have to do is you have to log in into that server. You have to set up your application. That is your website. All right, clear, Surya? Surya, is that clear? Okay, so we have these many regions. Okay, these many regions are there in AWS. We can launch our server anywhere. All right, now why AWS only? Why not Azure? Why we are talking about AWS only? We have Azure also. We have Google Cloud, right? See this graph. In this graph, we can see how AWS is dominating the cloud market. How many companies are using AWS when compared to other? See here, out of 100%, AWS is occupying 39% of the market. Okay, 39% of the market. What is the next one? Azure. Azure is just occupying 19%. If you combine all this, I mean, others are there, right? DigitalOcean, Dell Cloud, all those clouds. If you combine everything, the all together, they are just occupying 21% of the market. Okay, you can understand how much AWS is so popular and how many companies are using AWS as their cloud platform. Okay, so that is why we are preferring AWS over other clouds currently. Okay, now AWS have, if you want to learn more about AWS has certifications also. These are some of the certifications. So the first certification is AWS Cloud Practitioner. This is the basic certification program. You have to complete your AWS course and you have to do this exam and you'll get this certificate. If you want to become AWS DevOps Engineer Professional Certification certified, you have to go in this path. First you have to do this one, you have to complete this one, and you can apply this one. Okay, you can directly also apply this one also. There is no problem. You can apply this one as well. If you are from developer background, you are a programmer, you have developing experience, you can complete this certification. Then you can go on with DevOps engineer if you want. Okay, a lot of people do this one. DevOps, solutions architect associate. They do this one and they apply for jobs. In this certification, you will complete. You will complete most of the services, AWS services which are there, right? Most of the services will be covered. Important services. Any certification is important. Okay, certification is not very mandatory. It's not compulsory. It will just add some weightage to your profile. Okay, while attending interviews, that will give you some weightage. Okay, now in these regions we are going to launch our servers. Okay, so where am I currently? I'm in Hyderabad. Okay, I'm in Hyderabad. I should launch my servers nearest to my Hyderabad city. So what is the nearest city? What is the nearest AWS region? Mumbai region, right? So I launch my all my servers in Mumbai region only. It doesn't mean that I should not launch servers in US regions. I can launch it, but we have something called network latency. Network latency. See, when you're connecting to a server which is hosted in US region, it will take some time, right? It will take some time. There will be a gap of 5 to 10 seconds gap will be there. Every now and then when you're running some commands, when you're running some application, okay, it will take some time. Okay, that is called as network latency. The gap created due to huge area coverage. All right. So in order to resolve this network latency, it is advised to launch our servers in nearest region. In the nearest region, we should launch our servers. So what is the nearest region to me? Since I'm in Hyderabad, my nearest region will be Mumbai. Okay. If not Mumbai, where I can launch, either I can launch in Singapore because this is also near, or I can launch in Bahrain. Okay, so any two regions, either I can prefer Mumbai, Bahrain, or Singapore, but not these regions. Okay, I can launch servers, but there will be a network gap. Okay, network delay will be there. Whenever I will be trying to connect to those servers, there will be a slight delay. So in order to avoid that delay, I'm going to connect it to the servers which are launched in the nearest region. All right, remember this point. So whenever you launch any server, try to prefer nearest region to you. Doesn't mean that we should not launch, we can launch. Okay, there is no limitation, there is no restriction that I should not launch in other regions and all. Okay, we can launch it anywhere. Now, at this moment, we have only one region in India, that is in Mumbai. By 2023, AWS is trying to set up another region in Hyderabad. Okay, so they are investing this much amount and they're trying to launch second region in Hyderabad, in India, that is in Hyderabad. Okay, so very soon you can see two regions in this map. You'll see two regions in India. All right, guys. So now what I'm going to show you is how to create your AWS account and how to log in into that account. Okay, after that we'll discuss about question, and if you have any questions, we'll discuss about all about that doubts and all. So go to Google and type AWS Management Console. Okay, type this AWS Management Console. You'll get this first one, right? First one is there, right? Click on this. You'll get this page. Okay, you'll get this page. Click on Sign into Console. Click on Sign into Console. You will get this sign in page, guys. Okay, this is the sign in page. You have to log in into your AWS account here only. If you have your username and password, give username and click on next, give the password, and you will be logged in. Since most of you guys don't have AWS account, click on this, create a new AWS account. You will get this page. Okay, see here we are creating free tier account, free tier. Okay, free tier. Free tier means we are creating a free tier account which will give us some free services. Okay, since we are learning here, we are asking AWS to give us a free account so that we can learn AWS. AWS encourages new talent. Okay, so they give us this free tier account, and here in that free tier account we can launch servers for free and we can practice it. Okay, so give your email ID, give your password, confirm that password again, give any name to that account, and click on continue. Once you give all those details, it will ask your debit card or credit card details. Okay, you can give any debit card or credit card of yours and you have to give those details. AWS is going to charge 2 rupees, 2 rupees, Indian rupees. Okay, so 2 rupees it is going to debit from your account. All right, that is for confirmation purpose. Why they are debiting 2 rupees? Just to verify that you are a genuine user, and in case if you use any other services, you are going to pay the amount. Okay, so that is why they are going to charge it. You don't need to worry about these 2 rupees. They will return this in 2 working days. Okay, within 2 working days they are going to return that 2 rupees also. They're not going to take it. All right, with from that what are the debit card you have used in that account, it will return. Now once you create your account, it will be a free tier account. Okay, free tier account means not completely free. Okay, it comes with certain limitations. Okay, limitations. Pardon with the spelling mistakes. Okay, All right, so it comes with certain limitations, and it means that you are going to get 750 hours of free usage per month. Okay, per month. Per month, you can use 750 hours of free usage. Okay, for example, if you launch one server, this is one server, you can use it for 750 hours per month. 750 hours you can use it freely. But if you run it more than 750 hours, for those for those additional hours, you're going to be charged. You have to pay a certain amount. Okay. Now, Venkat, what will be that amount? How much that amount will be? That amount will be decided by AWS on which type of server you have launched. Okay. It will be depending upon the which kind of server, what kind of server you have launched. Based on that, they will tell you the amount. Okay. We have something called billing dashboard. In AWS, you have something called billing dashboard. In this billing dashboard, you will get complete details of your bill. All right. So complete bill details, how much you have used, when you have used, what services you have used, how many hours you have used, everything will be clearly given, including the tax details. It will be given there. All right. So 750 hours per month, it is free. Also, they give 30 GB free storage. Free storage. Okay. For example, see, one server takes minimum 8 GB to launch one server. 8 GB storage it takes. To launch any server, it takes at least 8 GB of storage. So imagine you have launched four servers. Four servers you have launched simultaneously. You have launched four servers. What will be the total storage you have used? It will be 32 GB. Am I right? 8 into 4, 32 GB you have used. So per month they are giving only 30 GB free usage. Am I right? 30 GB they are giving. But you have launched four servers. Four servers means 32 GB you have launched, which means that in addition to 30, you have launched another 2 GB you have launched in addition, right? So you have exceeded the free limit. For this 2 GB, you are going to get bill. Okay, remember this point. So 30 GB they are offering free. If you launch more than 30 GB, okay, for that additional whatever the GBs you have launched, for that 2 GB or whatever the number of GB you have launched, you have to pay that bill. Okay, got my point? So be very sure what you are using and make sure that once your work is completed, delete all of the servers. Okay, so that you can, okay, you don't want to any bill, right? So delete all of them once your work is completed. So I have the detailed document. Okay, I'll share you those documents in the Google Drive, and you can create your account. Okay, so this is the document, guys, PDF document. Follow this step one by one and you can create your account. Okay, I'll upload it in the Google Drive. So let me log in into AWS and I'll show you how the AWS console looks. So here I'm going to give my username. Here this captcha we have to type it up, and after that we have to mention the password. Okay, so once you give the correct password, what happened? No, it didn't log in. Okay, you will get something like this. Okay, so let me go to the AWS dashboard. So once you log in into AWS console by giving the right credentials, you'll see this page. Okay, this is the AWS management console. This is the home page of AWS. Okay, here you can see the account name, who has logged in. This is the region. I told you, right? We have AWS regions. See this? These are the regions. Okay, all these are different regions, right? Where AWS have set up their data centers. Now, where am I? I'm in the North Virginia region. This is one of the region in United States, AWS regions in United States. Okay. So once you click on this, you can see all the regions here. In US, we have 4. In Africa continent, we have 1. In Asia, we have a lot of servers, lot of regions. In Canada, we have 1. Europe, we have 6. Middle East, we have 1. Bahrain, and South America, we have 1. Okay, these are different regions. What is this? This is help button. Any notifications and alarms. This is for running any commands. This is the search bar. If you want to search any services, features, any documents, you can search it here. Okay, type here and give enter, and you will find out everything. Okay, these are services. Okay, AWS, different services are there, right? All the services are here. This is the AWS logo, and whatever the services you use frequently, you can find it here in this bar. Okay, so this is the AWS management console, AWS Amazon Web Services. Click on this services tab and see AWS offers many things. Okay, AWS covers lot of technologies. If you are into blockchain related services are there. If you are into business applications, you can click on business applications. A lot of business applications are there. All these are business applications. If you want to launch any servers and all, you can go on to compute module. If you are into this AR and VR, you can select this one. If you are into database related services are here. If you are from developing background, if you are a programmer, you can use all these services. If you are from game development services is there here. Amazon Game Lift. If you are from IoT, we have IoT services, machine learning, and networking part, quantum technologies, robotics. Okay, everything, storage, security, networking part, everything. A lot of services are there depending upon various technologies. Okay, we are not going to learn each and everything, guys, because not everything is related to DevOps. Certain services are very important and we are going to cover them only. Okay, so here all these are there, right? This we call it as modules, different modules. Inside each module we have different services. Okay, this is compute module. In compute module we have all these services. In analytics we have all these services. Okay, in blockchain module we have this one. Like that, all these are different AWS modules. Inside these modules we have different services. We are going to learn something called EC2. EC2 means Elastic Compute Cloud. Okay, now we'll discuss more about EC2 on Monday, but at this moment you should understand how to log in, how to create an account, and how to navigate to this home page and all right. So what is EC2? How to launch our first server? Everything we'll discuss it on Monday. Okay, any doubts so far? Any doubts, guys? So some of you have joined for the first time, I guess. Am I right? Anyone has joined for the first time today? All right, I'm not getting any response. Okay, if anyone has joined for the first time today, you can watch my previous demos. I have taken 4 demos from Monday to Thursday. Just watch that demo. The demo is ready. I mean, the video is ready in the Google Drive. I'll share you the link. If you are interested to join this course, okay, you can talk to the management about the fees and all, and I'll share you the WhatsApp group link, and you can join that group, and we can continue with our classes from Monday onwards. Okay, so today just we have seen some basic part, how to create AWS account, how to log in into that account and all, but actual technical part, how to launch our first server, we'll see it on Monday. All right, so initially we'll be going a little bit slow because few people will be joining, right? New people will be joining, so I have to take some backup classes for them. So whatever they have missed, I have to take backup for them, right? So initially I'll be going a little bit slow. Once the batch is confirmed, how many people have joined, I'll go on at a normal pace. Okay, I'll go at a normal speed covering all the topics. All right, so if anyone has any queries, you can start asking now. And I'm sharing the WhatsApp group link in the chat box. You can click on that link and you can join that WhatsApp group where we'll get all the class updates. Okay, when the class is there, if the class is getting cancelled, if I'm not available, anything, any kind of issues, you can discuss it. Even the errors, if you are facing any errors, you can post your error. Anyone can help us in that group. Okay, so anyone has any issues, any doubts, any queries related to course, content, curriculum, anything, you can ask now. Okay. Yesterday in the WhatsApp group, someone asked about the curriculum, the content, what we are going to discuss over the next 70 days. I have shared the content, and you can download that document, check out what are the topics which we are going to cover. All right. And what else, guys? Any other doubts? Nobody has any doubts? All right. So I hope I was able to explain it clearly what is cloud computing. If you still have any queries, ping me in the WhatsApp group, and we'll discuss more on Monday. Okay, so as I told you yesterday in the previous demo classes, we'll be connecting from Monday to Friday only. Saturday and Sunday we'll be taking off, and we'll be connecting back on Monday. All right, which is on 27th December. All right, guys, so that's it from my side for today. I have to uh, talk with the management. So if you have any queries, or so, who is this new guy? Mahesh Boyer. Mahesh, you can watch the demo videos. Mahesh, talk to the management, take the demo video link. It is in YouTube. Okay, just open that link, and in the YouTube the demo video is uploaded. Try to watch that demo once, and if you are interested, join the course, and we can start the classes from Monday onwards. Okay, you can directly connect me over a phone call as well. Talk to the management, they will connect with me. Okay, they'll connect with a conference call. All right, Mahesh. Okay, guys, so that's it from my side. Let's connect back on Monday at same time at 8 a.m. Thank you, guys. Bye. Okay, good morning, guys. Let me share my screen. Give me a moment. Okay, guys. So I'm going to log in into my AWS account, and today we'll see how to launch our first server. Okay. So some of you have might have joined for the first class. Some of you are the new students, right? Uh, Please confirm who has joined for the first time today.
So yes, sir. Myself, Jayant.
All right. Okay. Hi, Jayant. And if anyone else has joined for the first time, uh, please wait. Okay. Once we complete this session, I'm going to give you a quick demo of what we are going to discuss. Okay. So let me tell you one thing that we have started our classes. This is our second class, and we have just completed what is AWS and all, just introduction to what is cloud computing and all. So don't worry, I'm going to take a backup of what is completed so far after this session. Yeah, for everyone. Okay, for everyone, whoever has joined for the first time, I'm going to take a backup for you guys after this class at 8:30. So don't worry about it. Okay, just wait for a while. Just continue and see what I'm trying to show to you. All right, so today we'll see how to launch our first server. Okay, first Windows server in AWS. So let me log in into the AWS console. Okay, so the Google Drive is getting ready, guys. Okay, for our group, the Google Drive is getting ready, and I'm going to share all the documents, how to create the AWS account, how to launch the server, and all. Everything I'm going to showcase you. Um, all the documents are ready. I'm going to share it with you over the Google Drive. Meanwhile, the Google Drive is getting ready. I'll share those documents in WhatsApp group. All right. Okay. Please give me a moment. All right, guys. So this is our AWS uh, console. Okay. So I given a quick introduction right yesterday in the last class on Friday. So this is how you will be seeing once you log in into the AWS console page. Here we have regions. Okay. I told you right, AWS have launched their infrastructure, their data centers and all in different regions in the world, right? So you can see all those regions here. So once you click here, you can see different cities names, right? So I'm going to launch our server in this region. Okay, Mumbai. You can launch anywhere. You can launch in Hong Kong, Singapore, wherever you want. Okay, even North California, wherever you want, you can launch your servers. So I'm going to showcase you how to launch a Windows server in Mumbai. Okay, Asia Pacific Mumbai region. So in whichever region you want to select, click on that region. Okay. So once I clicked on Mumbai region, the region name has changed. Okay, and currently whatever the infrastructure I'm going to set up, like whether I'm going to launch any server, whether I'm going to do any network changes, all those will reflect here in this region only. Okay, so whatever the changes you're doing, all those changes will reflect to that particular region itself only. It will not reflect in other regions. Remember that point. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on services. Okay, click on services, and in compute there is something called compute module. See here, compute module. Click on this compute module, and here you'll see something called EC2. Okay, EC2. Now in this EC2 only we are going to launch our servers. Okay, so let me click on that. Okay, before proceeding further how to launch a server and all, let me give you a quick introduction to EC2. What is EC2 and all right? EC2. EC2 means Elastic Compute Cloud. Okay, in shortcut we call it as EC2. So EC2 is the service in Amazon Web Services in our AWS cloud. EC2 is the service. It is the most frequently used, most widely used service which is used for launching resizable servers. Okay, resizable servers. What do you mean by resizable? See, today you have launched one server. Okay, the configuration of that server is 1 GB RAM and one CPU core. One processor is there. Okay, one CPU processor is there. You are using this server, and tomorrow you came to know that the server is very slow. It's not working up to the mark. You feel that the application which you are running on this server is very slow because of the configuration. So what you can do, AWS is providing us the option to resize it. You can increase or you can decrease the configuration of the server according to your project requirement. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll resize it. I'll increase the configuration. Okay, I'll make it as 2 GB RAM and 2 processing CPU core. All right, so this is what elastic means. Okay, elastic. So AWS EC2 service gives us the option to resizable compute capacity in the cloud. Okay, so whatever the servers we have, we can increase or decrease the configuration based upon your requirement. All right, what is the next term in this compute? See, compute means we are going to launch our servers within fraction of minutes. Okay, within minutes, within 1 or 2 minutes, we can launch this server. Basically, in physical, if you're going to set up a physical server, what you have to do first, you have to buy the server, right? You have to give a order to Dell, or you have to give a order to IBM, right? The server will come. You have to set it up. You have to provide electricity. You have to install operating system. You have to install the application and all, right? How much time it will take? At least it will take 2 to 3 days of time. But instead of doing all those things, the same configuration server in AWS you can launch within minutes. Within minutes. Okay, so that is what the option of, you know, that is what the power of using cloud when compared to physical infrastructure. All right, so we can achieve launching of infrastructure within minutes. That is what the second point. Okay, compute and cloud means obviously we are launching our infrastructure in cloud, right? So that is why the name cloud has been given. All right, all the servers which we are going to launch, all the services which we are going to use are hosted on cloud infrastructure. Cloud means somewhere in other region it is hosted, and we are going to connect it to those resources with the help of internet. All right, so this is what EC2 means. EC2 means the servers. Here, see, when I'm talking about servers, the machines, okay, systems. EC2 has a separate name. In AWS, we use a separate name for those servers. We call them as instances. Okay, instance. Instance means server. Okay, the machine which you are going to launch. So remember this point, instance. So here onwards, whenever I use the word server, system, PC, desktop, okay, or box, VM, or virtual machine, all right, remote server, what are the names I'm going to use? You just need to understand that I'm signifying, okay, I'm denoting instance only. All these are different names, okay. So whenever I'm going to use these terms, remember that I'm just calling instance in other names. Okay. See, basically we have different kinds of operating systems, right? We have different kinds of operating systems. The major operating systems are what? We have Windows, we have Unix, right? These are the main operating systems in this world. Now, in Unix, using Unix, okay, a guy named Linus Torvalds, he has created his own operating system. He took the source code of Unix, he customized it, and he modified it, and he released his own operating system, which we call it as Linux. Okay, some guys call it as Linux, some guys call it as Linux. It's up to you. Whatever you want to call, you can call it. Both are correct. Okay, so I prefer calling it as Linux. Now, again, this Linux is free. It is open source. Anyone can use it. Anyone can download it. Anyone can use it. So some companies have taken this Linux, they have customized it, and they have released their own version of Linux. Okay, so in that, the first one is Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Okay, Red Hat Enterprise Linux is the first one. The next one is we have something called Ubuntu. Okay, this comes under Debian family. This is again a separate operating system which comes under Linux family. Okay, Linux. Similarly, Amazon Web Services have taken this Linux operating system. They installed a few applications in it. They have modified some changes. They have done some changes. They have customized it and they have released it with their own name called as Amazon Linux. Okay, like this, we have a lot of operating system, guys. Linux is open source, right? Anyone can download it and anyone can modify it and they can release their own operating system. All right, so apart from these we have CentOS, we have Fedora, we have Linux Mint, we have SUSE Linux, we have Kali Linux. Okay, this is for ethical hacking. Okay, we don't use this, mainly used by ethical hackers who are practicing hacking and all. They use this for hacking purposes. Very advanced Linux. All right, we have different operating systems in Linux. Similarly, like this Linux only, some few people have taken Unix operating system, some organizations, and they have released their own operating system using this Unix. Okay, they customized Unix, they released their own operating system. Some of them are, mm, we have something called, Sun. Okay, Sun Solaris. So there was a company called Sun, and they released their own operating system. So they use this Unix and they release their own operating system. Now Sun has been overtaken by Oracle. Okay, Oracle company. Okay. Now apart from this, we have We have Apple. Okay, they have released iOS, and we have IBM. They have released AIX. Okay, similarly, all these companies have taken Unix. They have released their own operating system, guys. Even HP has their own. HP has HPUX. Okay, Hewlett Packard. So all these companies have taken this Linux, they have taken this Unix and they have customized it and they have modified and they have released their own operating systems for the servers. Okay, for servers, not for desktops and all. All right, so remember this point. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to launch a server in Windows. Okay, tomorrow we'll see how to launch a server in this one, Amazon Linux and Red Hat Linux. We'll see in tomorrow's class. So what is Windows? Windows is a separate operating system mainly designed for desktops and servers. Okay, so the main advantage of using Windows is we have a good user interface. Now what you're seeing on my screen is Windows only, right? Most of you are using Windows. So I'm going to launch one Windows instance now. All right, so let me log in into the let me launch one Windows instance and show it to you. So see, here something called launch instance is there. See, launch instance. We have to click here to launch our instance. Uh, Mahesh, I understand your doubt. I'll explain it to you once this is completed. Okay. So Mahesh is asking how to increase and decrease the server size automatically. Okay, I'll explain it to you afterwards. Give me a moment. So guys, we have something called launch instance. See here, launch instance. Click on this launch instance. Okay, so what, see, we will get total of 7 stages, 7 phases to launch our server. Okay, all these 7 stages we have to complete to launch our instance every time. Okay, every time we have to follow this. So the what is the first thing? The first thing is selecting the operating system. Just now I've given you a quick introduction, right? What kind of operating systems we have and what is the operating system we are going to use. We're going to launch something called Windows. Okay, Windows Server. So this is the first stage, choosing the operating system. Okay, so what it is here, see the name, choose an Amazon machine image. See, in AWS, they have already created operating systems. They have installed some applications in it, and they have given us the option to select different kind of operating systems here. Okay, now if you see here, this is Amazon Linux. In this machine, we have all these things installed. Read this line. So they have installed all these things and they have kept this operating system ready for us. Okay. Similarly, if you take this Amazon Linux, we have all these things installed on this machine and some latest software packages are already installed. So when you select this operating system, Amazon Linux will be installed along with this highlighted part. All right. So that is why these are customized images, right? These are customized images by AWS. That's why these are called as Amazon machine image. Okay, these are created by Amazon company, right? So that is why these are called as Amazon machine image. In shortcut, we call it as AMI. Okay, we call it as AMI. Okay, see here, right next to the operating system, we have something called free tier eligible. What do you mean by that? Free tier eligible means I told you, right? We are we have created a free tier account in AWS. We have created a free tier account. Now, as I told you, not everything is free in AWS. Okay, only certain features are free, certain services are free, which we can use it in AWS for completely and completely free usage is there. Now, if you select this operating system and if you launch your server, you're not going to get any charge. Okay, you're not going to get any bill. But there are some operating systems which don't have this tag. Okay, scroll down. See, here we have Mac OS. Do you find this free tier eligible here? No, right? So which means that if you select this, you're going to get bill. Okay, you're going to get charged. Okay, scroll down. See here in Windows also, in some Windows we have free tier eligible, in some Windows we don't have. So if you select this, you are going to be get billed for this operating system. Okay, you'll be getting some amount in your billing. All right, so not everything is free. Okay, you have to select whatever the free options are there, you can select it. All right, some of the Amazon Linux operating systems are also not free. All right, clear so far? Any doubts? Please ask. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to launch this one. Okay, because this is a free tier account. Okay, free operating system. Now what is this operating system? See the name, Microsoft Windows Server 2019 base version. Okay, this is a data center edition. I'm going to launch this in launch my server using this operating system. All right, so what you have to do, you have to click on select. See on the right hand side we have select button, right? Click on select. This is the second stage, which is instance type. Okay, instance. Let me give you a quick introduction to instance type. See, in AWS, the instances are attached with a instance type. See, earlier when the AWS was launched for the first time, few people who were not having enough knowledge about servers, they used to launch servers with random configuration, some invalid configurations they used to launch, like a server with 1 GB RAM, 10 CPU core, okay, or they used to launch like 1 GB RAM and 10 CPU, 100 CPU core. So which is not valid, right? This will not work. It is like taking a bus and you're attaching a bike engine to it. Will that bus will work? No, right? It will be not able to pull anyone. So in the same way, here also you're running a server on 100 CPU processor, but that requires at least 10 to 15 GB of RAM. Am I right? So here you're launching just 1 GB of RAM. So that is not valid. The instance will be very, very slow. So what used to happen is customers used to always complain that our instances are very slow on AWS. Okay, so because of this, AWS came up with a plan called instance type. What AWS has done is they have created few sets of instance types and they have given some names to it. And in these configurations, we have to select them. Okay, so these are instance types are predefined configuration types for instances. Okay, so we have some certain sets. Okay, certain pairs are created. Pair, different pairs have been created for RAM and CPU, and we are going to select from that. Okay, one is one CPU core, half GB RAM. Okay, half GB RAM. We call this as T2 Nano. Okay, the name of this configuration is T2 Nano. In the same way, we have one CPU core and 1 GB RAM. We call this as T2 Micro. This is actually free. Okay, we can use it how much we want, we can use it. There is no charge for this. What is the next one? We have one CPU core and 2 GB RAM. Okay, the name of this configuration is T2 small. Similarly, we have 2 CPU core and 4 GB of RAM. We call this as T2 medium. Similarly, okay, we have a lot of configurations like this. we can select what are the configuration we want. We can select and we can attach it to our server. So I'm going to select T2 micro. So my instance, my server will be launched with one CPU core and 1 GB of RAM. Understood, right? What is the instance type? So AWS have come up with a plan. They have created predefined configurations out of which we have to select, and that will be attached to our instance. If you have any queries, please ask. So see here, these all are different types, guys. And if you see here, T2 micro is having one tag called free tier eligible, which means that this is free. Okay, we are not going to get charged for this. If you come down, if you scroll down, come down to the last. Try to read this line. So what is this? 448 CPU core, 6144 GB of RAM. Okay, so these are not servers, guys. These are supercomputers. Okay, these are data centers. And if you select this, you will get lakhs of rupees as your billing amount. Okay, even if you launch it for 1 or 2 minutes, you'll get a lot of bill for this. Okay, so don't go near to these kind of configurations. One of my previous student have selected this, and he got for 1 minute he got 25,000 rupees bill. Okay, so I suggest you not to go to this part. Okay, so stick to the starting instances only. T2 small, T2 micro, T2 nano. These are enough for us. So I'm going to select T2 micro and I'm going to click on next. See, I told you, right? EC2 gives us the option to launch any number of servers. Okay, that is the power of cloud computing. In AWS, we can launch one server at a time, or if you want 10 servers, we can launch it at a time. If you want 100, we can launch it. Even if you want 1,000 servers, we can launch it at a time. Okay, so there is no limitation. So where to launch, you have to give the number here. If you want to launch one server with this configuration, you can give one here. If you want 100, you have to give 100 number. I'm going to keep this as one only. Okay, one is enough for me at this moment. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on next. You might ask me, Venkat, what are all these things? We'll discuss all these things in the coming classes. If I start explaining you all these things now, that will create a lot of confusion, but we'll discuss step by step, we'll discuss in the coming classes. All right. Click on next. This is the fourth stage where we have to add storage. Okay, where we have to add the storage. See, by default, for Windows server, for Windows instance, we'll be using 30 GB of free storage, 30 GB. Okay, minimum 30 GB is required for launching that Windows instance. See, we are free tier account, right? We are using a free tier account and we are free tier eligible customers. We are getting 30 GB of RAM for free usage. Okay, up to 30 GB you can you can launch servers. So 30 GB I'm launching. But if I increase this to 40, what will happen? For this 30 GB they are giving free, right? So the rest of the 10 additional GB which I'm going to launch, for this 10 GB I'm going to get bill. Okay, so 30 GB it is up to 30 GB it is free. Whatever you launch more than that, okay, what are the excessive part you are launching, for that part you are going to get bill. Okay, so remember this point and launch according to it. If you really need this, if you want to really launch more than 30 GB, then only launch, or else stick to below 30 GB. Okay, since for launching one Windows instance we need 30 GB, right? So I'm going to make it as 30 only, and we can click on next. tags. Okay, tag. See, whenever you want to give any tag to your instance, you can give it. Okay, tag is nothing but like a name. Okay, whatever the name you want to give to your server, you can give it. We can give here also, and also we can give it in the home page. Once the server is launched, we can launch it. We can still give it. I'll showcase it. How I'll show you how to do that. Okay, 1 second, guys. Okay, guys. So click on next, and here this is the sixth stage, which is security group. See, we are launching our server in a remote region, right? In Mumbai region, I'm launching it. And where am I sitting? I'm sitting in Hyderabad. I'm going to connect it to that instance using internet, right? So in order to connect it to a remote server, okay, where it is launching, where it is working in a different location, I need to connect it over internet. And that server, whatever the instance we are launching, that that instance should accept my request, right? That instance should accept my request. So for Windows Server, we have to open a port called RDP. RDP. Now, what do you mean by port? See, this is our server, and I'm sitting in Hyderabad. Okay, this is my laptop. When I'm trying to connect it to this instance over internet, this Windows server should accept my request. Okay, this Windows server should accept my request. So that is why we are going to open a port called RDP. Okay, RDP means what? RDP means remote desktop protocol. Okay, this is the protocol. This is the rule which we have to open it up. We have to configure, we have to open it up in Windows Server for accepting the remote request. Okay, so using this protocol only, we can connect it to that instance. We can log in into that instance. All right, so the port number of this RDP is 3389. Okay, here you can see here. Okay, 3389 is the port number, and if you open this port only then we can connect it to that instance. Not only this, we can launch multiple ports. We have all these options. See here, all these options. Whatever the application you are running, you can launch the required port according to it. See, port acts as a door, guys. See, whenever you want to go inside any room, first what you have to do, first you have to open the door, right? Only then you can enter into it. In the same way, in order to log in into that server, the port has to be open. Only through that port, the network will be connected and we will be able to log in into that instance. All right. So I'm going to create our first security group, and in this security group, I'm going to open this port. You can give any name. If you want to modify this, you can give any name to it also. Let me give 08 a.m. DevOps. Okay, you can change the name as well if you want. See, here we have something called source. What do you mean by source? I mean, who are going to connect to this server? Okay, so we have three options. One is custom, second one is anywhere, and third one is my IP. When I select my IP, my laptop's IP will be taken. Only I will be having the access to connect to this Windows server. This is the IP address which is given by the internet service provider of mine. Okay, my internet service provider has given the IP address, right? That is what this IP address is. Now using this IP address, I'm going to connect through my laptop. Okay, that is is what my IP means. If you select the second option anywhere, this is the IP range. This is the IP range. Whoever is having internet, they can connect it to the server. Now this is a little bit risky. Okay, whoever is having internet and whoever is having the username and password for this server, they can log in into that instance. Okay, so usually in whenever you are working in real time, whenever you are working in project, it will be not anywhere, but it will be in custom. They'll keep it as custom, and they will give the set of IP addresses, the list of IP addresses who are going to connect to that server. All right, so at this moment I'm going to keep it as anywhere. Okay, anywhere, and I'm going to log in into that, because see, our server is not having any important and any confidential data, right? So I don't have anything to lose, so that's why I'm going to keep it as anywhere, and I'm going to launch our server. All right, so this is the sixth stage where we configure the ports. Security groups is very important. Okay, security groups is very important, where security groups acts as a firewall. This is the first stage of firewall for our instance. Okay, this is where we configure and where we modify the port numbers. Click on the next part, review and launch. This is the last stage, seventh stage, which is review and launch. In this review and launch stage, what are the options we have selected so far? We can review it, we can check them, and in case if you want to do any last minute changes, we can change it. Okay, see on the right hand side we have edit button. See here, edit, edit, edit. What are the changes you want to see, or what are the changes you want to do last time before launching this server? You can do it. Okay, so click on launch. Once you are confirming all the settings are correct, click on launch button. See, AWS follows a different concept called key pair. Key pair. Okay, using this key pair only, we can log in into the server. Okay, key pair is a it acts like authentication part. Okay, for authentication, for connecting to that server, we need username and password, right? Using this key pair only, we are going to get our, okay, using our key pair only, we are going to get our username and password. All right, so what we have to do is we have to create one key pair now. Okay, so in this option, select one option called create a new key pair. Okay, select this create a new key pair and give any name to it. Okay, so I'm going to give 08 a.m. December DevOps. Okay, give any name like this, or else I'll do one thing. I'm going to give something very simple like 1st December instance. Give any name like this and click on download key pair. What will happen? A file will be downloaded. See here, a file will be downloaded like this. This file is very important. Don't lose this file. Don't delete this file, and also don't share this file to anyone. Okay, don't share these files. If you share this file, using this file, they can log in into this instance, okay, which you don't want to do it, right? So don't share this file, and also don't delete it. Don't lose this file. Click on launch instance, and our instance is getting launched. Okay, so scroll down and you will see something called view instances. Click on this. See here, read this. So our Windows instance is getting launched. Okay, within few seconds our server will be ready. This one. Okay, click on this refresh button. Our server will get ready within few seconds. Meanwhile, let me give a name to it. See, keep your cursor here, click on edit button and give your whatever the name you want to give, you can give it. I'm going to give as 8 a.m. DevOps. Okay, save. Now this is the server I have launched. Okay, and this is currently running, which means that we can log in into that server. Okay, we can take the remote of that server. What is the type? T2 micro, which means 1 GB RAM and 1 CPU processor. Every instance, every server will have a instance ID. See here, every server will have a instance ID. This is unique. This will not be given to any other server, guys. Okay, this is unique and this is given and assigned to this instance. Every instance will have its own unique instance ID. All right. Where we have launched this instance? In which region? We have launched in Mumbai. See, Mumbai. AP South 1A. This is the tag name. This is the name of this Mumbai region. All right. Now, how to connect it to our instance? How to connect? So, select this instance. Okay. Select this by checking this button. And here we have something called actions. Okay. In actions, we have something called connect. See here, connect. Click on connect. And we have something called RDP client. See the second option, RDP client. Click on this RDP client, and here what you have to do, you have to give, click on get password. See here we have the username, but we want password. Okay, we want password. Okay, so click on this get password, and once you click on this get password button, you will be asked to upload that file. This file has to be uploaded here. So let me click on this, click on browse, and select the file which you have just downloaded. Okay, this is the file that I downloaded. Select this and click on open. What will happen is AWS is going to decrypt that file. See, that file is having some important content. Okay, some encrypted content is there. It is going to take that content and it is going to decrypt it. Okay, that will give us the password. So click on this decrypt password and see here what you're seeing now. This is the password, guys, and this is the username. Using this username and password only, we can log in into that server. Understood? So this is how you decrypt the file to get the password. That is why I told you, right? Don't give this file to anyone. This is very important file. Okay, now click on Windows button. Click on Windows and type RDP. Okay, type RDP. RDP means remote desktop protocol. So click on this RDP and you'll get this option called remote desktop connection. Click on this. This is the default option, guys. Okay, default application which is used for connecting to the remote servers. Here we have to give the name of that server. Okay, so name of the instance. So this is the name of the instance. Copy this. How to copy? Click on this copy button. Okay, click on this copy button. It will be copied. Paste it here. Click on connect. What it is asking? It is asking username and password. Where is the username? Here. Copy this username and paste it here. Similarly, password. Copy this password, paste it here. Okay, click on OK. What it is saying? This computer is a remote computer. Do you really want to continue? Yes, I want to continue and I want to connect. Click on yes. See, I have successfully launched our first server and we have logged in into it. It is launching, guys. First time, right? It will take some time. Let's wait and take 1 minute. Okay, wait for a minute. Okay, guys. So this is how we launch our server. Now what we have to do, we can start working on our application. If you want to set up your server, if you want to install any application, any database, any web service, anything, whatever you want to work, you can start working on this instance. All right. See on the right hand side, this information is also given. Okay. How much RAM is there? 1 GB RAM. What is the instance type? T2 micro. This is the IP address. This is the instance ID. Every information is getting displayed here. All right. So you can verify it. You can cross check it also if you want from the AWS page also. Same information will be there. All right, guys. So this is how we can launch our Windows server. See, go to File Explorer, right click on this PC and go to Properties. What it is? See the operating system. This is what we selected, right? While choosing Amazon machine image, this is what we selected, right? So that is what, okay? This is how we can cross check. We can confirm that we have launched the right instance or not. Okay, so let me come out from this instance. You can click on this minimize button. See, I have minimized it and I'm back to my laptop. Okay, so once your work is completed, you can close this also. Close this. What it is saying, your remote session will be disconnected. Yes, I want to disconnect. Click on OK. That's it. Our instance has been closed. Okay, click on cancel and that's it. Okay, we are back to our EC2 dashboard. This is the EC2 dashboard, guys, where we can control, where we can manage our instances. All right, guys. So this is how we launch any instance and we can log in into that. Now Mahesh is asking, sir, what is the difference between public IP and private IP? See, when I select this instance, observe two things. What is this? Public IP and this is private IP. Every server, every instance will have private IP and public IP. Private IP is given by AWS. AWS has given this private IP. Okay, this is for internal communication between this server to this server, this server to this server. Okay, private IP is for internal communication between the AWS servers. Public IP is given by internet service provider who is giving internet, right? He has given this IP. Using this IP only, we are connecting to that instance. Okay, because see that server is in Mumbai and I'm connecting from Hyderabad, which means that through internet only I'm connecting, right? So for connecting that, this IP address is required. Okay, so this is given by internet service provider. All right, Mahesh, I hope that cleared your doubt. All right, guys, so this is how we launch our server. See, since our work is completed, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop this. Okay, it is always a good practice to stop your instance or terminate your instance once your work is completed. Click on this instance state. You have three options: stop, reboot, terminate. Stop means the server will be shut down. Okay, shut down. Once you stop your instance, you are not going to get any bill. Okay, you're not going to get any kind of bill. If you click on reboot, the server will be rebooted, which means the server will be restarted completely. And once you click on terminate, the server will be terminated, which means that the server will be deleted forever. Okay, you are going to lose your data if you select this third option. So before terminating, take your all your data backup, then you can terminate it. Okay, since I don't have any data in this server and I'm good to go, so I'm going to terminate this instance now. Okay, I'm going to shut down for forever. So click on terminate and click on confirmation terminate button. Once you click on this final terminate button, the server is going to be deleted. All right, what it is saying, you are going to lose your data, so take a backup of it. That is what it is saying. See, storage on any local drives will be lost. So I don't have any data, right? So I'm going to click on terminate button. What is going to happen? The server is getting deleted. Okay, refresh this page and you'll see confirmation. Okay, see, even after terminating one server, the server will be shown for 30 minutes. In this page, it will be shown for 30 minutes. It will be shown. Okay, here you will be able to see it terminated. See, here it will be terminated, and you can see this for next 30 minutes. You can see this. After 30 minutes, it will be automatically removed from this list. Got my point? Okay, refresh this page. It will shut down. Okay, it will take some time, but it will shut down. All right, guys, so this is how we launch our Windows instances. What are the steps I have discussed so far? Everything is documented. Okay, don't worry, I'm going to share this document in WhatsApp and also in Google Drive once the Google Drive is ready. And see this video once again and try to launch your first instance. Also, I'll share the document to create your AWS account. Okay, any doubts so far?
Sir, how to change the
You guys,
configuration of this existing machine?
yeah. Okay, how to change the configuration of your existing machine? For changing the existing configuration, first you have to stop the server. Okay? Make sure that you are stopping the server. For a running server, you can't change it. Remember that point. Next thing is select the server for which you want to change the configuration. For example, take this one. Select this server. Here in actions, okay, in actions, we have something called instance settings. And come to instance settings, and there is something called change instance type. See here, change instance type. Select this button and it will give you the option to which configuration type you want to change, whether you want to increase or whether you want to decrease. The current configuration is T2 micro, which is 1 GB RAM, 1 CPU processor. You can select anything, T2 medium, anything, whatever you want to select, you can select it and click on apply. Immediately the configuration will be changed. All right, is that clear?
Yes, sir, yes.
All right, so see this, guys, see this, terminated. Okay, now this will be shown for next 30 minutes. Don't worry about it, and after 30 minutes it will be automatically removed from this list, guys. Okay, now question and answers. Anyone has any queries with respect to whatever we have discussed so far?
Hi Venkat, Nagendra here. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, hi Nagendra, good morning, please tell me.
Sir, I am working in healthcare, so we are allowed we are allocated Citrix web. So we are working on a Citrix. So in
Mhm.
the when we are working on the current I'm working as a client request. We need to work on this Citrix webs. So username password is created for us by an IT department. So on when we are on working on the projects as a DevOps, so we need to create this username password for the someone else.
Username and password.
Providing one desktop to particular user.
You are talking about instance. Yeah, if you are asked to launch an instance and hand it over to anyone, yes, you have to create it. And what are the username and password I just generated, right? You have to decrypt that file. You'll get username and password. You have to provide it to the concerned user. Okay,
Okay, sir. Okay.
that is a part of DevOps activity. Okay, mainly that comes under operations. Okay, cloud operations. Now, some of you have joined for the first time. I know that some of you have joined for the first time. You guys can just wait for 10 minutes. We are going to discuss. I'll just give you the introduction to DevOps part. The rest of the guys who have already joined this our score, this course, you can leave this meeting, guys. Okay, we have completed for today. We'll connect tomorrow and we'll see how to launch a Linux instance. Today we have launched Windows, tomorrow we'll see Linux. All right, guys. So if you have any queries, ask or else you can leave for today. New guys, please wait. I'll just give you one, quick demo. So guys, we are discussing DevOps, okay? DevOps, and this is our second class. I just given quick introduction to what is cloud computing in the last class, and today I have launched our first server, okay? So not, you guys haven't missed anything so far. Now I'm going to give you one quick introduction. See, basically in any IT company, any software development uh, project, we have two teams. One is development team, one is operation team. Who is development team? Who comes under development team? Development team is nothing but the developers, the programmers who write the programming code. Programmers, testing team, and build and release team. All these people comes under development team. Okay. Coming to operations, we have deployment team, okay, delivery team, and production support team, uh, administration team, okay, IT administrators, system administrators, database administrators, network admins, all these people comes under operations part. Now the development team is responsible for introducing the changes. What are the client who is looking for new changes into the application, those changes are developed by the programmers and they will introduce those changes into the application. This is the main task of development team. On the right hand side, we have operations. Now, operation teams is responsible for coordinating with the client. They have to talk with them, they have to discuss with them, they have to make sure that the client is satisfied with these new changes. Okay, they have to log the tickets, they have to create incidents, they have to make the documentation. Everything has to be done by the operations part. So these people have a lot of work to do, and these people don't want changes to happen very frequently. Okay, they want to okay, they want to introduce the changes to that application at a fixed interval. Okay, but development team has a lot of pressure from client end also. They are getting constant pressure from client that the new changes has to be developed and introduced very immediately. So the development team is going to introduce those changes immediately, whereas operational team doesn't want those changes to be happening, you know, very frequently. This is where a gap is getting created between these two teams. These people want to introduce these changes, and operational team doesn't want to introduce these changes very immediately. So how to address this issue? A new concept was created, which we call it as DevOps. Okay, DevOps. Now dev is taken from development, it's and operations is taken from ops. Okay, ops is nothing but operations, dev means development. Okay, it's a two word, remember this. Now, who is a DevOps engineer? DevOps engineer is a person who is going to use his DevOps practices, DevOps tools, scripting knowledge, and use this all these things to fill up the gap between these two teams. Okay, to address the issues faced by these two teams, they are going to use all those DevOps tools and all. Let me showcase you what are those DevOps tools. These are some of the important DevOps tools. Okay, these tools are going to be used, and DevOps engineer is going to help both the teams. Each stage of software development life cycle, each and every stage is there, right? Development, testing, build, every stage has different tools. We are going to learn one tool from each and every stage. Okay, so all these tools: Docker, AWS, Chef, Ansible, Kubernetes, Jenkins, Maven, Git. All these things we are going to learn. All right. So who is a DevOps engineer? DevOps engineer is a person who has good knowledge in software development lifecycle. Okay, the project in which he is working, he should have complete knowledge from where to where the software it is getting developed and where the issue is present. Okay. Apart from this, DevOps engineer should have good knowledge in automation tools. Just now I shown you the tools, right? All those tools should be he or she should be good with these DevOps tools. Also, DevOps engineer is going to have a good knowledge in continuous integration and continuous deployment pipeline. See, this we in shortcut we call this as CI/CD. So in order to deliver the product to the client, we have to continuously deliver it. Okay, we have to continuously test it. We have to continuously, deploy it, and we have to test it, and we have to monitor it. Okay, so DevOps engineers should have good knowledge in this CI/CD pipeline. We'll discuss more about this CI/CD pipeline in a tool called Jenkins. We have something called Jenkins, and in Jenkins, we are going to discuss this in more detail. Okay. Apart from this, DevOps engineers should have good knowledge in scripting languages. Any one scripting language is enough, guys. That too, basic understanding is enough. Some basic knowledge like Python, Ruby, Shell, JavaScript, anything. Also, CI/CD pipeline knowledge should be there. Good knowledge in configuration management tools like Ansible and server. See, we have a lot of servers we are going to launch.